the moment BrahjCast fans listening around the world have been waiting for. Live from the BrahjCast studios in Mazomanie, Wisconsin, it's time! 1 hour of mind-blowing conversation for the podcasting championship of the world. Introducing first, casting out of his office corner, he is a Cho-Jitsu Grandmaster and a black belt at Knowledge Bomb University, boasting a perfect podcasting record of 420 wins with 0 losses. He stands at 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 180 1/2 pounds, fighting out of Mazomanie, Wisconsin, introducing the reigning, defending, podcasting champion of the world, the BrahjCast very own Christopher Michael Carowitz.
What's up, everybody? It's Chris from the BrahjCast. You can say it with me now. Woo. Getting better at that shit. It's the BrahjCast, and I am here with my boy, Super Collector. The man, the myth, the legend. He's known as icollectichiro. Say hello to the millions.
Hey, man, how are you? Thank you for having me on the show, man. I'm really looking forward to it.
Good shit. Looking forward to this for the last 2 months. I think we've been kind of going back and forth, settling on a date and whatnot. Big news for your boy. This is a big year for him. I can't wait to get all of your thoughts on Ichiro's last year, how it went down. But before I get ahead of myself, as I do, or as I should tell everybody, I'm here with icollectichiro. As you could probably figure out, he is an Ichiro Suzuki super collector. I really enjoy watching his videos. He has all sorts of awesome cards. It's awesome to watch another fellow player collector. Lots of videos out there these days. If they're not contest response videos, they're just kind of like new product ripping. Lots of blasters, lots of hobbies on day ofs, lots of case breaks. Rarely do I myself come across other player collectors where I get an opportunity to watch one person collect, one other player and all of their, random rainbows, and just like I do with Jose Canseco. So it really drew me into your collection, and that's why I have so many questions. That's why you're here on the BrahjCast. So before I just keep going on and on and on, and don't even give you a chance to talk, tell the millions and myself, give us a few minutes, 5-10 minutes on how you got into baseball card collecting in the first place.
I think my story is very similar to, I'll be 40 this year, so it seems like the timeline with a lot of people in the hobby, especially a lot of the guys that have the YouTube channels, kind of fall in that same time frame when they were kids. I grew up in Kentucky. I moved to Florida when I was 10, so I've been in Florida for the majority of my life. But back then, we didn't have all the distractions that we have nowadays with tablets and and everything like that. I mean, I remember having a Nintendo, but the way I was, if the sun was out, I was outside playing. Nintendo was kind of something I did like maybe at night. I liked it, I liked playing it, but I wasn't fully consumed by it. But back then you could go to just about anywhere and you can find a pack of cards for 50 cents, $1 or whatever. My most recent memories of cards were the 87 tops.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those wood borders and
Yes.
those are just ingrained into my mind. But anywhere from then on was kind of collected a ton through the 90s. I never really officially took a break, a long period break. I would dabble here, dabble there, pick up some things. Then it wasn't too long. I mean, when I moved to Florida, there was a card shop not too far from me. There are a couple of them actually, but everybody's experienced what's happened in the last 10 or 15 years with card shops. I mean, those things closed up, and
Yep.
the only thing I really had was there was a flea market, and my mom would take me there, and there would always be a couple guys there set up with things. So I would look forward to doing those and getting some packs and stuff like that. Like I said, I never took a break for a prolonged period, and then I think I picked up a Beckett, which those are seriously outdated. But I picked one up. I think around 2000. I'm pretty sure it was 2001 is when I picked one up. I think it was when all the Ichiro craze kind of happened, and I just wanted to see what was going on, what products are out there, and that's when I opened it up, and they were talking about pieces of jerseys and cards and bats and cards. I'm like, I didn't even know that stuff existed. I mean, far as what I was doing, I got to pick up some singles here and there, or a couple things off eBay, and then all of a sudden this whole game use stuff was going on, and I was just like, that is just insane. That I would never picture anything like that happening. So of course I had to pick up some of that stuff, and I picked up a few boxes from here and there between probably 2001 to 2000, and 10, and then 2010 came around. I was started like looking at different things and just kind of getting the itch again. Just wanted to see what else is going on out there, and then I think maybe I bought another Beckett, and then the whole story of the Steven Strasberg Superfractor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that thing, I don't know, it sold for $27,000 or whatever it was.
Jesus.
And I'm like, man, this is this whole thing's come a long way.
This has changed.
Yeah, dramatically. So I was like, wow. I mean, now it's like you're pulling a lottery ticket out of a pack of baseball cards. That's kind of insane. So
it is. It is.
So 2010, like I dove full back in, but my main focus was buying boxes and cases.
Woo!
I didn't do breaks, but I was, I was buying it. And then one of my buddies, he collects Pujols, but not near as much as I do Ichiro. I mean, he picked up some like early in his career, and he's got this set on those. But which kind of led me to, I really wanted to focus on a certain player, and I, ended up picking Ichiro. But yeah, 2010, 2011. 2010, I was buying a bunch of boxes and cases and stuff and breaking that stuff. 2010, I also started really thinking about, maybe player collecting. I'm a huge Braves fan. I grew up back in the day there where, they were on TBS all the time.
Fuck yeah, man. The 90s Braves were the shit.
Yeah. I was a fan of them in the Russ Nixon days before Bobby Cox. And, they were horrible. They were horrible. I mean, remember that slogan, from worst to first, it was way before they had those players. But I mean, yeah, that was an insane, it's just a shame that they could only win one World Series with the group of guys they had.
Yeah, the Buffalo Bills of baseball, man, is what it reminds me of. Just the talent. But man, just playing 7 games, winning best of 7, that's tough because teams can adjust.
Right. Yeah, it just it was crazy, but I just kind of was always, that was, I remember watching all that and being a big Braves fan, and was, thinking, I always, for the most part, would just pick up something or buy something that kind of caught my eye, and I still do that, because I have a PC outside of Ichiro. So, some stuff I pulled and some stuff I just picked up and bought through the years, but, it just kind of catch my eye. People say, like, who else do you collect? I mean, I collect some, Chris Sale on the side, Jose Altuve on the side, and Miguel Cabrera on the side. So
nice.
Yeah, nothing to the extent of the Ichiro stuff, but just you know, it- just so much repetitiveness with the Ichiro stuff. I like doing it,
Yes, yes.
but I mean, if you get so watered down on that one thing, it's
Yep.
just it becomes monotonous. So
I
I wanted to
agree.
spread the wings a little bit and just dabble on some other things. But 2010, I decided to maybe start picking up some Ichiro stuff. And then 2011, I was still buying boxes and cases, but I was full into the Ichiro. But then it came to the point where we had my son, so the money situation, I couldn't afford to do everything.
That changed, yes.
Yeah. So I mean, and plus, I mean, if you're busting cases and boxes, man, you're not making money.
No, no.
It's a money pit, So
It's
I
fun.
mean, yeah, oh, it is fun. It's fun. The rush. You pull like a $500 card or $800 card sometimes, but it's just
Hmm.
but that one little thing keeps the drive going. Unfortunately,
Oh
it's
yeah, chasing the dragon, man, for sure.
yeah, yeah. So it's just 2011, the birth of my son and all that. I'm like, that's it. I'm done breaking stuff. Um, I'm just going to solely focus on Ichiro, unless something I would find a good deal on something else that might catch my eye. But other than that, I was just 100% on Ichiro.
What is it about the other three players that you had listed? Why do you play or collect them? Did they do something cool that you have a memories attached to them, or what is it?
Um,
And Ichiro too. I'd like to know why Ichiro. Is it because it was just hot and then there was good buzz and just kept it going, or what was it about
um,
all of those players?
well, with Ichiro, like I said, my buddy collected Pujols
Hmm.
on a very small scale, but he was basically just picking up his rookie cards and stuff like that, and I was thinking like I wanted to take a change in my collecting, like not just busting boxes and cases and not just kind of going for just a random player, and I didn't want to necessarily collect the Braves per se, because I mean, you start collecting a team. I mean, it takes a lot. So I was just like, I need to really narrow this down, and I started going through everything I had. Um, you know, I have a website for my collection, so I kind of put in there like how I kind of came to that conclusion. It's
Okay.
real small, just like one little paragraph, and it's just I sat there. I had I don't know, hundreds of cards in front of me, and people say it's not about money, and it's not about money. It really isn't. But I wanted somebody that really plays the game, that respects the game. They
Hmm.
never allow themselves to be bigger than the game. Um, I mean, he's a super humble person. I mean, I got one of his books I've read, all the stories you hear about him, the respect he had for players before him. He's just an awesome person on and off the field. Everything he does in his life, it's like baseball first, and he just it's hard to find players like that. He's kind of got that old sense of the game,
Hmm.
respect for it. He doesn't do all the crazy bat flips, and he never got caught up in anything like that.
Yeah.
So, and plus, I mean, he was a great player. His numbers were awesome. I mean, I think at that time he was still having like 200 hits for like 10 or 12 seasons in a row.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I was like, I mean, I think this is the way I want to go with him. I mean, I like him, respects the game, and if he continues, there's a heck of a chance of reaching the Hall of Fame. But you got to think this time it's 2019, so about 8 years ago is when I made that decision. So a lot of things
Right.
happen in 8 years. You get an injury. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it just happened to work out.
Yeah. In the there's a line in Indiana Jones where the guy says, "You have chosen wisely." That's what I'm seeing, man. Yeah, if
Yeah,
you're gonna collect someone, thank goodness. Yeah, not thank goodness, but it definitely helps that it all panned out. He's definitely got Hall of Fame numbers, ambassador of the sport. Like you said, respect for the game. There's absolutely nothing that I can think of at all that's like on the if there's a pros and cons list, there's like nothing on the cons side at all.
Yeah.
Am I mistaken? He was on one team he was drafted by Seattle, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, one team guy. Like there's a special place in my own heart for that type of player too, the one team guy. It really dawned on me the effect he has, and I'd like to get your opinion on it too. The effect he has and had on the game worldwide when I saw all the highlights from the preseason Japan games. And if you know more details, I'd like you to tell me about what that was, how he just kind of did he just come onto the team for like that road trip only, or what was that in the preseason Japan stuff?
That was, well, last year, I wrote an article about it. Last year was odd for me with, he was basically going in, he wasn't signed by a team.
Yeah.
And it was, good Lord, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks before the season started, and, the Mariners picked him up. So I was like, oh, that's awesome. That's great, and he came out. I got a couple of friends actually living over in Washington and have seen him play, in the last year or so and this and that. And, because I don't really get to see him that often on TV. I didn't buy the MLB package or anything. But I would always look and, hoping to catch one, but it was pretty rare. But they so like I guess he started off pretty bad compared to what he used to be able to do.
For sure.
And talking to one of my friends there, I guess his eyesight was getting bad, deteriorating from age and stuff like that. So obviously the way he hits, he's a very hand-eye coordinated person.
Right.
He's a very unorthodox. So if the eyesight starts going, it's gonna magnify quickly in his performance. So, but then it wasn't too long that they put him into like a front office position.
Oh shit! This is all last year.
Yeah, and I was like, well, what do you mean a front office?
Weird. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, well, now he's not on the team. He's in the front office. I'm like, well, I guess I can understand that because, obviously we're with Washington being where it's at. Any bridge there to, the Japanese market, he's going to know those people and they're going to be comfortable with him.
Yep.
So I'm like, well, that makes sense. But what's going to happen with his career? It really bothered me. I wrote about that too. It's just, you see all these people when, they announce their retirement, they go through every team, especially like that last couple months, they do this whole thing. They stop the game, they present them with a thing, and everybody, pays,
pays homage.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm like, no way, his career can't end like that. But he's in all of his books and everything. He doesn't want anything. Like he said when he got, he broke the season hit record, and he does these things, and they stop and do a standing ovation. He doesn't want any of that.
Dang.
He wants the game to keep going. He doesn't want, the focus to be on him. He wants the game to keep playing. He doesn't want to be an interruption to the game. He said he didn't want any of that, But, of course they do it, and he acknowledges it, stuff like that. But he doesn't want any of that stuff. So I was like, man, I guess, this is the way his career would end. I'm like, it's just nuts to me. I know he wouldn't want any of that, but he deserves a respect for, what he's done. I couldn't imagine it ending the way it was looking. And then like toward the end of the season, they announced that, the Mariners were opening up, Major League season 2019 in Japan.
And
right when he said that, I'm like, okay, all right. The writing was on the wall, but I'm like, I don't think it could have been much better than what it was. He's back in his home country where he started playing baseball professionally, and he's on the team that drafted him to come play as a rookie in the Major League Baseball.
For sure.
So I was like, the two together, I thought it was just awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was a really cool setup. I still think he deserves the round trip or whatever, we call it these days. It seems like that started with Jeter where when he retired, I think was the first one I kind of heard about, where dang near every stadium, and the last time they were going to, see him, they kind of gave him the thing. And then I remember they did it for Big Papi. Maybe they did it for Pujols. I can't remember that.
Oh, Pujols still playing.
Oh, shit.
He just hit a home run last night. I saw that. I was like, wow.
Holy cow. Nice.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, but they did that with Chipper.
Chipper, definitely. Yeah, he deserved it for sure.
Yeah. Mariano,
yeah. I mean, they're doing it with D Wade. They did that. He traded a jersey with everybody in his last home game. That's cool. I definitely think each deserves it, but I also think that he's also not pressing his PR guy, to make sure shit like that happens. You know what I'm saying? The way you talk about him, that's the furthest thing on his mind, which is awesome.
Yeah, but I watched some of that series with him in Japan, man, and not seeing him really play a game in quite a while, and it's just, you could tell. I mean, he wasn't playing what he was. There was a play when he was in right field that there was a ball hit towards him, and he misplayed it off the wall, and I was like, man, he would have never done that. But you could see in his face when he missed a play, like he kind of like looked down at the ground like he was upset with himself for doing that. But I'm like, man, your eyesight, you're judging a ball flying at you and where the wall is.
That ain't easy.
I think with that, everything, I think he really came to the conclusion that if he couldn't perform the way he wanted to, he wouldn't become detrimental to his team.
Yes. You don't want to become a burden.
Right.
Or anything like that, far too many times as an MMA and a WWE fan, both those sports or entertainments, they allow, and it's a platform for guys to go way past their prime if they want to. And most of the time it looks pretty damn sad and not how I want my last memories of them to be. So
their bodies take just a hell of abuse.
For sure. And and I'm not in that position, but I would assume that they're just chasing that that's their life, I guess, man. As far as fighting and stuff like that, I think baseball players and a couple of other sports offer a bit more opportunity for a graceful departure.
Right.
But not in wrestling or MMA. But so overall, though, you think he went out pretty? You like the way it went?
Yeah.
You're happy with
it?
Cool.
Yeah, very much.
What does that mean now? See, now you're player collecting somebody who is still active. I've been player collecting someone who's been unactive, so you're venturing into my realm as far as, Ichiro will be in a lot more sets than Jose is. And for the millions not listening, for some reason, if you don't know, I do player collect Jose Canseco. So again, as an inactive player, so it's just whenever Topps decides to sprinkle him in as some filler. So what I'm building up here is my question is, will you continue to actively grab as many as you can, or will your collection towards Ichiro kind of switch now?
As of right now, I'm not going forward with anything from 2019 on.
There you go.
And I mean, like I said, I love collecting them. I love, chasing, the rainbows and the crazy cards and things like that. But honestly, 2018, the production level seemed like it was more than it ever had been.
It's too much, brother.
Yeah, and it honestly it wasn't as fun as it had been in the past. So, I'm not going to continue to do it just because I'm supposed to collect him or people think that I do. But in the same respect, there's a lot of stuff from, even he was a rookie in Japan in 93.
Oh, dang. That's right.
So from 93 to 2000, he has cards all from Japan. So I mean, I've got a gaps all over to fill. So that will give me plenty of time to focus on that stuff and stop chasing all these crazy things. Um, so I mean, I really enjoyed it, but going back and and looking at that older stuff and getting stuff that I need, I'll enjoy that much more. It's just, I mean, with his retirement year, Topps is just going to be pumping out cards left and right.
Oh yeah.
I'm a fan of the Topps Now stuff in a way, but I tell you, I don't know how many cards they made of him in the Japan series, but it's just, I mean, 20, 25, maybe more.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just printing money, really, but it's like
that's individually. That's you're talking $200 just there. Yeah, I mean, just like you said, printing money.
Yeah, I get it. It was retirement. It's something I definitely will remember. I want to have things from that moment, but it's just like, man, it's just, him a picture hugging King Griffey Jr., him a picture high-fiving this guy. It's just,
yeah.
I get it. But, how about just one picture with him, like, tipping his hat to a standing ovation crowd? Saying,
Yes.
That'd be perfect.
I hear that, man. I hear that. Yeah, the Topps Now set is interesting to me because that bad boy, as I'm learning, I talked to another collector, Passion for Cards. He started to actively try, he's a big set collector, so he tried to get that bad boy when they started, but those freaking sets by the end of the year are 900 plus cards, man.
Yeah.
And when you're at the deal at $15 a rip, no, sorry, that's here I'm getting all my Topps deals confused. That's the living set. Topps Now cards are like $8 a rip. So come on, what's 8 times 900? That's $7,200.
Yeah.
To tell me that some dude hit a walk-off single, like I give a shit,
Right.
Wow.
Guy batting 200 for the year hit a walk-off.
Yeah.
A home run, got lucky.
Wow. like I get it. Maybe there's the argument that if it's that way everybody gets a chance, even though I don't like that one dude, some other dude really likes that team and is going to get it, and I do actively look for the Brewers ones, especially a Christian Yelich, but I want them either making catches at the wall or like in their old school Brewers pinstripe jersey. Otherwise I really don't, I'm not going to get it. And, I don't know, or some postseason or World Series wins, but not all 900 cards, because there's those, then there's this living set, which is cool, but it's already getting annoying to me because I see 3 every week that I really don't care about, and it's so weird how they actively, and I'm just going to go ahead and guess that Vlad Guerrero Jr. is going to magically be next week's living set, because that's all they care about is money. If it's not, then it'll tell me something that maybe Topps doesn't care about money 100%, but I will guarantee you by the time this airs that Vlad Guerrero Jr. is going to be in the next living set. You can see it. It's just because here I am rambling, and I told you that I might be rambling about the hobby because I've been back into the hobby full force for 2 years now, and while I enjoy the community aspect of it, I'm really becoming disgusted with the money and I'm throwing up air quotes, the investment aspect and angles that I'm seeing from these outside these guys like Gary V and I don't know, these people who are bringing attention to this hobby as more of an investment instead of like the love of the hobby and how we can sustain its future, because I'm a big advocate for the future of this hobby, because right now it's being driven by dudes like me and you. You said you're 40, I'm 38, and it's being driven because it's us now that have all the expendable income. That's why cards of Vlad Guerrero or I don't even want to go into that part, but it's the fact that we have all this money to spend and we're able to fulfill our what we couldn't really buy as kids or whatever, or our hobby has grown with us to where we have more expendable income, kind of like in your case where you can buy cases and stuff like that. So but the future, it needs to be sustained to the future generations who have zero attachment to cardboard cards like we did, because the cardboard cards we looked at, and I've said this damn near in every podcast of mine, they were our internet, for lack of better words. If we wanted to, if in my case personally, if I wanted to think about and imagine Jose hitting a home run, I couldn't just look on the 19, my iPhone, my iPad, my computer, my TV has every app available. There's all these access I have to like watch him, watch highlights and all this stuff. Well, as a kid, we didn't have that. So I just looked at my baseball card and used my own brain and imagined it, and therefore like infusing this bond with these fucking cards, pardon my French. But the next generation, and it's not their fault, it's just going to be, it's like a different hobby. The hobby will not grab them, in my opinion, like it does with us, because there was no investment except for money. And when you hear, and that's why I get pissed off about people like Gary Vee and all these other people who are just it's all about money and prospecting and fucking get out of town, man. Like, why it just drives me crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go to it, but like Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s cards are selling for $10,000 to $12,000. And what is that? So a kid growing up, that's what he sees is that this is what this hobby is.
Right.
And that's not a way to sustain it. That's a way to sustain it for Topps, which is just printing money like you said earlier.
Yeah.
But so that's what my beef is, man, with this hobby right now. So and that's all what I was saying is just how I'm just becoming kind of disgusted. Maybe I need to just stay in and learn more and see more, sift through what I'm considering as bad and kind of find, more of the good, swim with more of the good stuff in the hobby. But I'm just having a hard time finding it,
Yeah.
So
it's funny. I was talking to somebody. You think about these guys. Well, Ichiro, he didn't have an autographed Bowman card, right?
Right.
And I mean, how many years is the hottest card you can get of a player? Autographed Bowman rookie card.
Yep.
And I think back, it's like just what his card's selling for even now. I mean, is like a fraction of what these guys that have never hit a major league pitch before.
Yes.
It's just like, man. So, so I always think, I mean, what if a player like Ichiro came in the league today as a rookie and did what he did for the next 10, 12 years? What would that card be worth now?
Shit.
I mean, so it's making me question. So are all the cards in the past of all these great players, are they really just extremely undervalued then? It's turned into a stock market. I mean,
it is.
If a guy gets hot, man, it's like, when I was busting boxes and cases, there was a card shop. It was about 45 minutes from me. And I would go over there once in a while, and he had like a box of, what was it, 2000 and, man, I think 2012 was Bryce Harper.
Yep.
And he had a Bowman Chrome, but, I would always buy online because you always get better prices online. If I'm buying cases, I mean, I'm saving a lot of money if I get a case online versus from the card shop. I mean, I'm saving probably at least $300 at least. So, but I was there and I was talking with him, and, and that card shop had been there for 16 or 17 years. And he had a box, but it was like, $30 more than what I could get it for. But I'm there, it's there. I'm like, yeah, what the heck? I pulled the Bryce Harper autograph.
Whew.
Yeah, and he was like, and he. I mean, I think the reason he lasted so long because he was into all the Pokemon stuff, comic books.
Gotta evolve.
You got to be so versatile.
Yes.
If you want to make it that long, And I talked with one of my buddies, and we were thinking about maybe opening a card shop, But it's like I told him, I'm like, I don't know enough about all the other stuff that you need to get everybody in the door.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, people collect baseball cards, but I'm not familiar. I'm not really familiar enough with football or basketball.
Yes.
But you need to have everything. There was another card shop in Orlando. It's been there for at least 20, 25 years. And I was talking to that guy, and I was kind of bouncing ideas off of him about, what he would do now if he had to open a card shop. And I mean, he looked at me. He's like, well, he saw my wedding ring. He's like, you're married? I'm like, yep. He goes, you have any kids? And I said, I got a son. I don't know if my daughter was born yet. And he was about to cry, saying that he didn't have a chance to do any of that because he was married to his job.
Yeah.
And he couldn't afford to pay help. He would get some kids from school or high school around there come in and help him sort cards and stuff like that. And he would give them exchange them, buy him lunch and exchange some maybe product or cards for helping him.
Yep.
But I was like, wow, and then going back to the other card shop, and I pulled that Bryce Harper. He's like, sell it. I was like, I'm not selling that. And we started talking, and about different things, and the money I'm spending and this and that. And I go, yeah, but what if he gets real hot? He's like, it'll always work out to your favor. He goes, for every one guy that gets hot, there'll be 20 or 30 that don't, and the time to sell them is now. So I was like, well, so then I started really looking and thinking, like, what can I sell these things for, and looking up eBay prices and stuff like that. Then I started thinking, man, I can invest all that money into my Ichiro collection. Something that I really care about. So 2000, was it 14? 2014, a player named Mike Trout, extremely hot. And I had about 36 different rookie cards ahead of my sold.
Woo.
From busting all those boxes and cases, I'm like, this guy's not going to get any better than what he is now.
Right.
So, yeah, I sold those for about $25 a piece or something like that.
Right. I hear you. But who knows, and people are,
Right.
Who knows? People are doing that with their Yelich rookies, their Mookie Betts rookies now, I mean, as much as I love Christian Yelich and he's on my brew crew and he's kicking ass, we don't know if he's going to knock out his girlfriend in the elevator in 3 years. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a very volatile market, and the buying and selling, all that is just as volatile. I mean, it's just as soon as something happens, it is damn near in real time. The prices, like Pete Alonso, I don't even know who this guy is, but all of a sudden his cards are worth like more than Hank Aaron rookies. Like more than Hank Aaron rookie cards graded. More than a Nolan Ryan rookie card graded. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. And that's just telling me it's people, you don't pay that much for a card for the love of it. You pay for it because it's valued. Somebody else, not you, and not you, the person who's holding that Pete Alonso card. Somebody else, and in fact, a group of other people have told you that card is worth this amount of money. That's what it is. What that is, and it's like, man, I don't know that I don't know where I'm going with that. I'm starting to just rant again about that, but it's just like, sorry.
It's funny. No,
Go ahead.
It's funny when you were talking about the Yelich thing, because from busting all those boxes and everything, so I still got boxes upon boxes of stuff that, that I pulled, and just, at the time I thought they were cool. Like Yelich, I knew I had some of his stuff from 2010 and 2011 I had pulled. I couldn't remember what it was and this and that. So when he started going on a tear, I guess about a week ago, I started looking through things. Well, I had like a Bowman Sterling autograph rookie.
Dang.
Like a Donruss Elite Extra Edition autograph rookie. I had the Bowman Chrome Refractor. It's not autographed. I had 4 papers. I had one of the updates. I was like, oh man, I listed those right away.
Definitely. Yeah, I gotta get. I'm actively searching for a Yelich rookie myself. I'm also picking up some Chris Davis rookies as well. I have nothing to collect. In fact, I did sell not to really switch gears, but there's nothing for me to collect in 2019, even though there's 37 plus products. Sometimes for a span of 2.5 months, we get a product a week here in like June and July. Out of these 37 products, I don't think there's really much of Jose Canseco coming out. So I've been, like you said earlier, kind of picking up, I have a side PCs outside of that as well, cards that catch my eye. Anything that looks cool, it's a great deal. Some Dennis Eckersley autographs, I'm a A's fan. But so I'm been picking up some Chris Davis rookie cards too, because I feel like I feel like he's just going to like hit 40 home runs for the rest of his career. And if he can continue for like another 10, 20, or 12 years, I feel like he's just going to be the home run king. And it's weird to me that nobody's, at least in my circles, nobody's really saying much about this guy. It's all about the players now that are still in the minor leagues. No one's really talking about these players that can actually or are actually proving themselves.
Right.
Strange, man.
It's funny. There's I'm on Instagram as well, and there's a guy that you can tell he focuses on parallels, colored parallels, and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was over the summer. He had the Yelich update black, like numbered to 60 something rookie card.
Nice.
He wanted like $65 for it.
Oof.
And I was like, man, I don't know. It seems like it might be a little steep. I was trying to like look up comparables to it, and I just decided to pass on it. And that card is like a $500 card all day. I'm just like, no, you kidding?
Yeah.
But on the opposite side of that is, you talk about how volatile the market is. The Trout update PSA 10. I think over $1,000 now or something like that. I thought.
Beautiful.
But last year when he got hurt, he was out for a month or something like that. You can buy that card for $200 all day.
That's crazy. I love that Trout update rookie. I love that his. I think there's a Bowman autograph one or something as well. I don't know what year that's from, but I love that update rookie is like his rookie card, and that it's not a sticker auto or anything. It's just like a nice base update, classic RC rookie card logo on it and everything. Just something about that I really, really enjoy.
Yeah. Well, I like that card too. Just that it's really brought, the base rookie back into play.
Yes. I agree 100%.
Doesn't have to be an autograph. It doesn't have to be a low serial number card. It doesn't
Agreed.
Have to be, some jersey from something they wore in a picture or
right
in an office for like 5 minutes and then took it off and gave it to him to cut up.
Right. Yeah, and that's how I was enjoying like the Yelich as an update rookie, the Mookie Betts update rookies. Like I can get behind that. Like I guess for me that's something I can get behind in my own personal like my range of collecting, the price ranges and stuff. Like I'm not going to grab a superfractor. I'm not. I just it's not in my wheelhouse. Even a numbered something rookie, but I can acquire a good quality base rookie, and I'm glad that they're still available,
Yeah.
And that the market hasn't made like the update rookies like stupid or not worthy of it, because it doesn't have an autograph or a sticker auto or something on it.
Right.
So that is one thing about the hobby that I was really I don't want to say excited or I was just happy about amongst the majority of things that I feel like this hobby is turning me into like this bitter old man. Like I'm like yelling at kids for having fun.
Right.
Get off my lawn. Back in my day,
Right.
50 cents a pack. Fuck Series 1 and Series 2 all year long.
Yep.
Good Lord. But I guess you don't make money. The hobby, there would be no companies right now. I mean, is what it is.
Right.
I don't know the logistics. I'm just a collector that thinks he knows shit, and I rant and rave here. But I would just like to see, I'm from the era that, there was Score, Pinnacle, or sorry, there's the same thing, Donruss, Fleer, Upper Deck.
Yep.
Competition, that's good. That's good for the market.
I mean, you got to look at all the cool designs, especially for the '90s. And
Ooh, definitely
came out because that they needed to be more innovative than their competition. But
yeah,
now, and that's not necessary.
Right? No, who's pushing you?
Right.
Nobody's pushing you when you're the kingpin. When you're it, yeah, that's so messed up. And man, because I'm telling, in my opinion, again, the Panini and the Donruss Optic and shit, those are a lot of those cards look really, really cool. They're very flashy, and that's not for everybody, but every once in a while, I like to be dazzled, and I like to open up a card and just have to put sunglasses on because it's just so damn shiny. And
they got the old school technology and that shine on those cards.
Right. But, it's just like, dang it, they don't have the logos. And so sometimes it's hard, to get past that. And I don't know. It's just stupid that they can make logos for football and basketball, but Top says, no way, Jose, on baseball. Like, who says that you can do that? That just shouldn't be right.
Well, and on top of, Top's having, all their eggs in the basket, but I mean, the sticker autos is what just drives me nuts. I mean, you look at a Stadium Club. I mean, Stadium Club is just, the photography on those cards have always been awesome.
Yep.
And there you are. There you have a big sticker. I mean, even the pushing of the sticker is horrible, and it sticks out like a sore thumb. I'm just like, I mean, they have to do something about that. I mean, I looked earlier at some 2018 Topps products. It's like, 2018 Topps Dynasty. I'm sorry, you get one on-card auto per box, $410.
Jesus Christ, no way.
It could be Cecil Fielder. It could be Mike Trout.
Yep.
Cecil Fielder you can buy for $40 all day online.
Yep.
I mean, a 5-star, it's $180 and get two on-card autos. But here's the thing, they fooled us and tricked us into saying, well, okay, apparently, everybody prefers on-card autos over stickers. Well, now you got to buy a premium product if you want an on-card auto.
Yep.
And I'm sure there's extra cost involved in getting players to sign a card or meeting them somewhere or whatever. But basically, all they done was tricked us to absorb that extra cost.
Of course. They're not going to foot that bill.
We're sitting there hook, line, and sinker. I'm just like, man, this is crazy. And, there's, the Topps Luminary. You get one auto per box or auto relic. It's $200 a box.
Mm-hmm.
Tier 1, you get 2 autos and 1 relic card, $150.
Jesus.
I mean, just, of course, you can hit some crazy card, a bat knob or whatever, but it's like, I mean,
the odds are you're not gonna, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you hardly ever get your value back out of those boxes, and that's like, I mean, again, it's a rush. You're opening it, and you never know what you're gonna get. But I mean, for the value, it's just not there for me.
No, and especially a sticker auto, man. Your guy hasn't even touched that card.
Yep.
He just signed a sheet of 100, and if you're gonna tell me that you got Jose Canseco to sign you like this bulk amount of sheets of autos, right? That you got sitting in a folder in some warehouse, and then I'm still gonna open up a pack and get a fucking redemption card for his autograph? Like, what the hell are you telling me? You sold me a product that you didn't even have? Yeah. Excuse me? And why is this okay? Oh, because there's no competition. I could not believe, again, I get back in 2 years, I couldn't believe it. Like when I pulled my first redemption, I mean, thank goodness it was Hank Aaron, so it was like it was okay, sorta, but it still took 6 months to come. The autograph looked like shit, but that's just because the dude's old.
Right.
But I was just like, would much rather have had that card right in hand, and it would have been way more exciting. And instead, you get this blue thing that says, "Here comes something cool. Once we figure out how we're gonna get it, guy." Like, what
Yep.
is that? I couldn't believe it. What are your thoughts on redemptions?
I can't stand redemptions. I mean, when I was busting stuff, I would get redemptions and stuff like that. I mean, I think they actually sent me something. I mean, good Lord, that thing was, I had turned that thing in like 2011, and they sent me something. I actually forgot about it. I couldn't even remember my login to see if I had anything out there from way back when. And on some, I got something. Oh, they sent me a Matt Harvey Bowman Platinum card.
Thank
I was
you.
like, why couldn't you send it to me back in 2012? I could have got some
Right.
money. Now I have it listed for like $5.50. Buy it now, and nobody's bid on
Yeah.
it. I'm just like, good Lord. But I mean, I see these horror stories too, in forums that these guys pull these amazing redemption cards, and then they say that eventually after waiting a year or two or longer that they're not going to make the card.
Can't be
Then they say,
fulfilled. Yeah.
right. Then they say, well, we value the card at $100. It's like, what? Like, one guy, he pulled a 101 dual auto booklet of, man, who was it? It was Johnny Bench.
Mm,
Johnny Bench and somebody, Buster Posey, and
nice.
they put the value at $100 on that card.
Okay, sure.
I'm like, you got it. And of course, the argument began on this and that, and I'm just like, wow. They ended up sending like some card that was, I think the guy was selling for like $130 or something like that. But I was like, that's if you can't provide the product you promise, I mean. But again, it's the only show in town,
It's the
so
only show in town. I mean, even in the Beckett reflects it. There's huge gaps. The names are there, but no prices next to them. It's like, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
So weird to me. I was like, wow, and it's just okay. It's just okay. Like, we bitch, but it's just like everything else. We bitch about everything, politics, like everything, but really none of us don't do anything about it.
No.
When
Well, I
we're the
mean,
consumer and we have the power to just not buy the fucking product, F you,
yeah,
boom, done. But, I guess, and going back to the prices, like it's got to be tough versus back then when you could pay a player like $5,000. You probably didn't even, let's say you paid somebody like maybe $2,000 to autograph some cards. That's good money.
yeah,
But to a kid, and I say that because some rookies they're kids, right? I mean, they were born in 2000 or something like that. Now you want to tell him, okay, hey, you just signed a $1 million of whatever $X million contract. Here's $2,000. Like, they ain't gonna budge for less than like the money is gonna go up because they don't really need that unless I'm wrong and they're like contractually kind of obligated from the MLBA or whatever, the players PA, because of the deal with Topps, like they have to sign cards. If they don't, Topps has to give them some sort of money figure. And if you're making millions of dollars, is it really worth your time? So Topps has to provide some sort of decent amount of money. And then, like you said, we end up paying for those costs,
yeah,
basically.
yeah. That's like with Ichiro. I mean, he was under strict autograph contract with Upper Deck.
Oh,
So I mean,
really?
yeah, from like 2000, I think 2001 all the way up till
To
four.
their demise or something? Like, or what? Till, or no, Upper Deck's still around. They make hockey and everything. What am I saying?
Yeah, they made hockey, but he was under just autograph contract with them through like 14 or 15, and then
Dang.
Topps finally got him, which I was like, well, that's cool, but I mean, how many autographs is each are going to have now? I mean,
That's another thing. You're exactly right. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry to interrupt you.
but it's just, I don't know if you've seen his autograph, but it's like a tornado went through. I mean, it's crazy. But man, they have him sign stickers, and it's just, my God, dude, he doesn't. I mean, you can tell it's his autograph, but it's not even close to what an on card full
Yeah.
nice auto of his is, and it
Yeah.
makes me cringe. I mean, if I even saw a good deal on a sticker auto, I wouldn't buy to him. I mean,
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, no way. Yeah, and having that exclusivity, yeah, the number of his autographs that provides a little bit, like more of that scarcity, that's more value. I'm even um finding autographs of Jose from the early 2000s and shit. Those are expensive because obviously the production was far lower,
Right.
and then you had a guy who was freaking exclusive to one product. Um, just like you said, now I wonder how many tops they're gonna make him do, because just like Canseco, man, as cool and as nice as his signature is, and it's cool to have some in my collection. I mean, his autograph is blown out. And
Yeah.
that's the words of one of the super collectors in the Jose Canseco community, my boy AJ Razor. His shit is blown out. Or no, I'm sorry, that was Mario who
Mario.
told me that. Yeah, it was
Mario.
Mario, exactly. he and the way he had said it and explained it further, it really did dawn on me that, man, that's just how that is how he makes a living. And there's just billions of his autographs out there that they don't really retain much value anymore, except for the value they have on memories of dudes that are in my price range or my age range.
Yeah.
That's
It's
unfortunate.
in a way, it's just if you think about it, I feel bad for those older players. I'm sure they did well financially if they were smart and and stuff like that. But if you look at the contract these guys are getting now compared to what those guys are getting
Oh
paid,
yeah, oh
I
yeah.
mean, it's $100 million contracts you're getting thrown around like it's like spending I don't know.
Jose
Spending,
was the highest paid player in 1989 with a $5.5 million contract, and that was insane. Then that was over like maybe a few years or something like that. Now that was what like Bryce Harper turned down the 300 million initially from one team that offer, and that was like 5.5 million every 2 weeks or every month or some shit like that. What one player is making, it's just absolutely nuts.
yeah. I mean
It's,
between Trout, Trout, Machado, and Harper, that's over $1 billion. Three guys.
billion. And those guys will never, ever, ever need to be on the card circuit, the autograph circuit when they retire, like our 80s players are, because of the money's differentials. Most of these guys still got to get some income. So they're
Yeah,
out there signing autographs at shows and hotel lobbies and shit like that.
yeah.
You think Mike Trout's going to
It's
have
sad
to
to
make
see.
that kind of money? No, then none of these players are ever going to have to do that again.
Right.
So that's interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw a thing. Somebody was, I guess, following Mike Trout on Instagram, and somebody took a picture of behind Mike Trout at a game signing for people,
Yeah.
and he had put a comment, "Did I miss anybody?" And
Jesus.
a guy wrote on there that his son would love to meet him one day. He says, "That's awesome. Send me a direct message, and I got a ball for him."
Dang.
But, so
That's
it's
awesome.
cool. I think he's he is the player that the best player in baseball, the highest paid. But I think he's very grounded too.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And that's like, the only knock on him is that he's not flashy and shit, and it's because he's a grounded and humble guy. Everything I've seen him on, all the pieces I've seen him, it's they're usually positive. The shit he's doing for the people in the community,
Yep.
and fans and stuff like that. So yeah, that's awesome.
I wish they would build a team around him to actually make a run at him to win a World Series.
Well, they were trying. Remember that one guy, Shohei Ohtani? Remember all the buzz
Uh,
about that fool? Jeez, this hobby. Swallow him
yep.
up, spit him out. He gone. He's gone. It's Vlad Guerrero, Fernando Tatis, Vander Franco. These are all names that I'm told I'm supposed to know and that I'm supposed to like.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I
I
have
could
no
be
idea.
totally wrong. I know his signature is ugly as shit too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you can't fault any kid for not having a signature these days because they just type,
Right.
signature and
Right.
cursive. That's just kind of old school now. But speaking of just typing and internet and everything, how's your channel doing? How's the YouTube going?
It's doing good. I'm not nearly as active as a lot of people on there. And things have slowed down a little bit as far as my collecting. I still pick up things I need, but I'm unemployed at the moment, so I really kind of have to watch what I do, what I get, and stuff like that.
For sure, less things coming in is less things to show on camera. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And I kind of went through a run of stuff, and I don't want to pump out 4 videos a week and stuff like that. So I've got some ones I've recorded that I'll put in every once in a while and stuff like that. So seems like I'm still collecting a lot of stuff, but it's just stuff I had saved up for a while that I never made a video on.
For sure. Yeah, I got a couple of stocked up videos that I got to get out there, and a couple of mail days that, you can let yourself forget about a few things as piles grow on desks and sorting rooms and shit like that. And all of a sudden I got packages that came in like a month ago, and it's like, shit, I want to make sure I tell these people thank you, and it's just like, instead of shooting them like a quick message, I want to surprise them in the video that I plan on doing in like 2 days. But then all of a sudden this happens and this happens. And then, like I said, it's a month later, and it's like, shit. Like I remember, man, before the holidays, I got some great care packages. And shout out to Pepino, man, if you're listening to this, my friend. I can't remember if I gave you the proper love or not, but 2018 Topps Clearly autographs, bro. Those were so fucking nice. Really awesome pieces for my collection. And I put them aside, and I was like, man, this is great. And it was holiday season, so I was getting a lot of packages. Everybody was, sending out love, and I think I forgot to like properly, say that on a video and show them and stuff like that. So it's like, shit, you just start getting all these things built up, and if they can get out of control, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's I mean, besides just being a funny man, he's a real humble and giving person, man.
Such a giving person, dude. I watching some of the care. He just sent Jerome from Yankees Cards. He sent him a freaking Aaron Judge autograph just in the mail. Care package is like, man, that is so fucking cool, man. Like, he sent me quite a few items. Everybody in this community has sent me some things. You've sent me some things, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah, you sent me some things. I made a proper video with yours, and with the label on it and everything. Oh, but yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, he sent me a care package, man. I think just shipping alone was like $20 or $25.
Right. Right. Yeah. Here I am. I send my care packages out. I'm thinning shit out. I'm taking shit out of mags and putting them in, top. I'm like, damn, this is gonna save me some. Oh shit.
Absolutely.
Just sending stuff out alone and for BFRG, like every 2-3 weeks I'm sending out 12 prizes and stuff, so that shit starts to add up every once in a while with BFRG prizes, and then care packages and stuff to send out to other people, and then just trades with people on Twitter and Instagram. That can really start to add up, man. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, the prices of mailing and shipping has gone crazy.
I hate it, man. My 99-cent cards cost me freaking $5 just to get shipped to me. 99 plus $3.85 or some shit now. It's rough.
It's like, I'm looking on eBay, and there was a card that I didn't have. It was like numbered 100 of Ichiro. It was cool, and it was like $1.99, but it was like $4 shipping. I'm like, I can't
do it. No,
money on a card like that. It's just, I guess I shouldn't be. I don't know. It's just something I can't get over.
No. I just
every once in a while I bite the bullet on something. I mean, I can't do it I couldn't justify it for that card.
I feel like with me, it's like the day of payday or afterwards. Yeah, sure. Sure, I'll click buy $6, no problem. But then any other day, it's like, oh, hell no. Hell no. Watch, maybe, like that's it. I'll come back to it. But yeah, I can't do it. And most of them, it's like, man, I hope I just find them in the dollar boxes at the National, because that's where I'll be lurking.
Nice. National.
Yes, sir. Lurking in the dollar and quarter bins and shit like that.
Nice.
Actively hunting a Nolan Ryan rookie and actively hunting George Brett and Robin Yount rookies right now, and Ozzie Smith. Those 4 cards.
Nice.
Yeah,
I got the Yount. It's crazy. Like this ad popped up through Facebook. This lady was listing something for sale, and the first picture she had was the Nolan Ryan rookie card.
Woo.
And I'm like, huh. Well, and this was like, I don't know, 6 months ago or whatever. I'm like, let me go check this out. And I was after work and this and that. And she had some cool cards. I mean, she had some 60s cards. I mean, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays.
Nice.
The Nolan Ryan rookie card. She had Kirby Puckett rookie card.
Yes.
And I was like, man, this and that. And she was like, well, thank you for coming over so quick. And, she's like, I was like, well, how much do you want for everything? She's like, $100, it's yours.
Whew.
And I'm like, it's the whole thing. All this is worth more than that. She's like, $100. She's like, you're the first one to respond, and you got here quick and wait on it. And like her husband had passed away, and
yep,
I guess he was a pretty big collector, but his collection got stolen. So he slowly started getting back into it, but only had like a very small portion of, I guess, what he used to have. So I was like, wow. It's funny. It's one of those cards I've always wanted to get, the Nolan Ryan rookie card. And,
for sure.
I didn't know when I would get it, how I would get it, or, with counterfeits, I'm better off getting like a graded 4 or something, maybe, or whatever. And sure enough, there it was.
Man, that's awesome. That's a lot of everybody's dream, man, is going to like a rummage sale or like the online marketplace, just coming across that old lady whose husband's passed away or her son went to war, and I found this shoebox in the attic, and it's just some beautiful freaking baseball cards that she only wants $100 for the whole lot. Kudos to you, though, man. I think I would have done the same thing and been like, shit. As soon as she said $100, the little devil would have popped up on my left shoulder and been like, hell yeah, buddy, get it. Get her, take it to the cleaners.
I told her, I'm like, it's funny. Pete Alonso just hit a home run.
Did he really? As we're saying this shit, man, that's hilarious.
A 3-run homer.
Oh my goodness, his cards just doubled in value. Good God.
But I did. I felt bad, and then I talked to her about it, and she said, no, this and that, and we were talking, so I was looking through everything, about, she wanted to know how long I've been collecting and this and that. And she said she liked me. I think she had family from Kentucky too, so we were talking, me, born and grew up there when I was, and everything, and we're just chit chatting about life and about different things. And she said, she's like, I see a lot of you, my husband. And stuff like that. And she's like, I think he would, if he had somebody to pick, out of a group of people, he would pick you, just based on. So I'm like, look, this is worth more than that. And she's like, no. She's like, I'm at peace. He'll be at peace. And I'm like, okay.
So then were you like, so will you take 90?
All I've got is 80 on me.
Oh, shit. Right as he pulled out this huge wad of 20s. All I got 80. I don't know, Gertrude.
She was a sweet lady. I mean, she still had like a bunch of other stuff, but a ton of it was like the 90s junk stuff and whatever.
For sure.
I told her if I knew anybody, I would direct them her way. But, I told her a lot of it really wasn't worth the paper it's printed on.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to tell some people at rummage sales and shit like that when I ask about, just pretty much straight to the point. You got, there's any cards here or anything? And when the very minor chance that they're like, yes, 99% of the time it's junk shit. So it's like, oh, well, there's, $20, 30, take the whole shoebox. And it's like, oh, it's hard to tell them in so many words that it's, again, like you just said, it's not worth the money it's printed on. Because it's like, well, because in their mind it's from 1990, it's 29 years old. What are you saying? It's like, no, it don't matter. It doesn't matter. There's 14 billion of these, so
yeah, that's it's it is what it is. It's tough. I still got a bunch of sets. I always like collecting sets
for sure.
And my parents, for Christmas would buy me a set or two or whatever, and I still got those. Yeah, majority of them in boxes, never been opened, so I just, they're not worth much, but it's something. My son gets older.
Yeah.
I can pass it down to him, tell him about it, this and that, and I've thought about it, because for some reason, traded sets became my favorite sets to collect.
Nice, yeah.
I think just because all the rookies.
Yep. Smaller ones too, smaller set.
Yeah. And I got every Topps traded set.
Nice.
So, but all those have never been opened, so a couple of Tiffany sets and
very nice. Yeah, I'd really interested in like a 86, the 86 traded Topps, obviously, and then of course the Tiffany would be amazing for me.
Yeah. So when I got into, when I was doing all that stuff, those traded sets I really liked a lot, but now with grading and everything, so it's like, but it's in a way tempting to open those. But I mean, if I open one and the main card's way off centered, then there goes the value of that box.
Exactly, 100%.
And I wouldn't want to break the set apart. I gotta get the old school thought. It came like this, it should stay like this. I just want to just keep it like it sealed. It's still got seals on them and stuff. The Tiffany, the Tiffany's have like a special like gold seal. And, like in a leather box type thing.
Yeah, I didn't know that actually. I had saw Passion for Cards has been collecting some traded and Tiffany's, just like you're saying, and that was my first time I saw a real box set. I was like, damn, that is high end.
Yeah,
I mean the cards themselves look great too.
Yeah, so I was like, I keep all that stuff. It just, we got like a big bin. I just put a couple of bins, keep my sets in, my 90 score or 89 score, whatever.
Yeah, nice.
It's in there, it's crazy. I think the score I actually opened, but I never took the cards out. But the way all those colors are like spaced out in the box looks crazy, like a rainbow.
Dude, I know exactly what you're talking about. That is so crazy. I have a special spot for the 90 score because my mom bought me that set, or I had saved some money, and for some reason when we left the store, that set, I left the cards on top of the car, so we took off on the highway and then heard a bounce, and I looked back and my whole set was flying in the air, man. All the cards everywhere. My Frank Thomas rookie card. That was the one card I wanted out of there. Big black, big beautiful black, big hurt Frank Thomas.
Yeah.
And so, and I remember looking at that set when you open the box, the way it's lined up in the box itself, it was all colorful like a rainbow and shit.
Yeah.
Like green bordered, red bordered, blue border and shit. Yeah. Wow, that's so cool. 792 cards in those sets, man.
Yeah, that was a huge set. Yeah,
huge sets. Nowadays the sets are half that size and every set has the same guys in it. Dang it.
Yeah. It was a different time back then. You pull a pack and you get like a guy you kind of halfway collect, man. You're excited, you're pumped for that. Nowadays you buy a pack, it's like, oh, this guy autographed it. Damn.
Right.
It's like, we kind of lost appreciation for.
I think so. I think so, man. As anybody would do if with the oversaturation of anything. Now autographs don't do it for any of us. Soon I'm gonna need a freaking patch of Mike Trout's skin, you know what I'm saying, or a piece of hair,
right?
It's just something. It's just gotta keep going above and beyond, because patches, jersey, I guess, don't really do it for me unless it's game worn. And of course, if it's a nice 3-stripe or a good chunk of that logo in the patch, of course, then that's good.
Right.
But your typical 90% of the time, the patches you pull are just plain and everything, like blah. Don't even do it no more.
No, that's with Ichiro, with the upper deck stuff, is like, they made awesome products in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, and honestly, I mean, a lot of times I'd rather have a nice big chunky piece of sick patch than an autograph card.
100%. I agree that 100%.
Especially upper deck, they did good, with the provenance on the back saying it was game used and this and that, and like Tops, like they can't guarantee where it was or what it was from. But at least upper deck, again, it was upper deck lying about it. I don't know, but I mean, it gives you a lot more sense of comfort of what you have, and what's in that card is from a game used game from that player.
Yes, 100%. I agree with that, and it's weird that they do it on some and don't on others. So that does really makes. I hate that I have to question it, because I have, I've been bringing up passion for cards a lot in this podcast, but he actually gifted me a Tops now from last year that has a chunk of the Brewers base from a game in the playoffs, but it has the hologram on it, and on the back it tells you the exact date, so I can go back and look at highlights from that game and say, that's it right there. And that's what I like. A couple of my UFC cards from like 2013 and 14, they say, boom, on this date from this UFC pay-per-view. So I can go back and look at that mat. Even the logo, I can almost kind of match what the patch, the color of the mat, all that stuff. And then I get into some baseball cards and stuff, and the majority of what I've pulled is all like either like event used or can't be guaranteed, all this gray shady shit. And then you mix that in with like redemptions and sticker autos. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What am I doing? What am I buying? What am I paying for?
What am I paying $200 a box for?
What the fuck? Oh man, sorry, Peter. It's just I just can't believe it. Like, and I did it, and I like will do it again probably in the future a few times. But it's just like, what am I doing?
Yeah,
so weird. I guess that's what it. I guess I'm just in the hobby. I'm a collector.
we're just small fish in the big pond, buddy.
No doubt. But if there's
funny,
go ahead.
It's funny you talk about the pieces of patches and stuff like that, and you're comparing the mat, with the card you got, and I've got like 4 or 5 Ichiro jerseys, and I got like pieces of nice chunks of patches and stuff like that, and when I get them, I like to pull the jersey out to kind of see exactly where that came from.
For sure.
Match up like, oh, okay, this is where that came from, and it's just cool just to kind of see where they pull pieces from and things like that.
Definitely, but and you can't do that with this little 1 inch by 1 inch window of gray.
I mean, to me, it could be pants, it could be a jersey, it could be a warm up jersey. I mean, I don't know where the heck that came from.
Right. Yeah, I do like seeing the nice juicy patches with some of the logo or any of the letters or anything. I do enjoy the. I don't know if I think they still do them. The, God dang it, they're called, it's the cards that have the jersey letters on them. Like I collected BRAHJCAST for the backdrop of my.
Yeah, Tops in the name of in the name or something like that.
Yeah, by the letter, by the number, and in the name. Exactly. Those are some of those. I don't know if they still do them, but I thought those were really cool.
Yeah, those are really cool. Yeah, Tops still does them. They're all 1-on-1s.
Oh dang, man.
Yeah, but dang. I mean, they're from legit jersey pieces. Some of them might be from like a spring training jerseys, or maybe a warm up jersey from like an all-star game or something. But yeah, they're all real. That's the real deal there.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, and it's like the whole letter, not like a chunk of, I think this is the S in his first name. not his
Yeah.
last name.
Yeah, I got a C from Ichiro from one of his All-Star warm-up jerseys, in
I'll bet.
2004.
Now, see, like that versus the C I bought, I can't see it right now, but it's definitely from some dude that never panned out because it only cost me like $2.
Right.
And that was a big one for me because I got the whole thing set up. A couple of YouTubers helped me with a few of the letters I needed, and then I had it all except that J, and that's an odd letter, right? And
Right.
since, like you said, most of these are one of ones, man, Joe, Montana, okay, not getting that. Jim, Kelly, Jerry, Rice, Michael, Jordan, like all the J's were these extravagant names, man. I was like, no. And then finally some dude named Jones, not Chipper and not Andrew, some other Braves named Jones finally showed up. And it was like $11, but and I paid like 3 or 4 for every other one. But as soon as I saw it, I had like an eBay save search and everything. As soon as it popped up, I didn't care what the price was. I just had to get it, as long as it wasn't astronomical. But so
yeah,
that was.
I think I sent you the last one you needed. I can't remember which one it was.
Did you send me an A?
Is it from Ricky Romero? I think yellow.
Yes, it is exactly it. I'm looking at it right here. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hell yeah. And I know Victor Negron, shout out to him. He sent me the T. Somebody else sent me the R. You sent me the A. Hell yeah. That was a fun project. That's actually the only real, I guess I can't call it a rainbow, but like my only completed project for my PC that I've ever done, besides like a few sets, but I've never been able to like collect a whole rainbow or anything like that. And like, so I made this goal to spell BrahjCast in Jersey letters, and boom, I fucking did it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah,
that is sweet.
I saw somebody do something like that, and I think before, and I was like, man, I always thought about doing something like that for my son, put in like a nice shadow box in his room or something.
Yeah, definitely, man. And there's all sorts of them. Thank God there's tons of players that didn't pan out. So there's
I don't care who it is, as long as it spells his name.
Exactly. So that was fun. And the only other rainbow I got right now is collecting Chris Kohler. He is if you saw that video
on Twitter, you were talking about the guy had some crazy price listed on it.
Oh, that guy, man. What a dick he was. That's the problem with telling people that what you're collecting, because if they know about it, they might, jack that price up. And thank God somebody else finally, after like 2 weeks of being the only version of that card, a blank of 5, I think it was 3 of 5 autograph red Bowman Chrome prospect rookie shit. Yeah. This guy wanted an astronomical price for it, and we went back and forth. He was pretty much just like berating me and talking down to me, and I was like being as nice as possible. And that's hard for me because usually I would have just snapped on this guy, but I really wanted that card. So I was trying to just keep it cool, and finally somebody else popped up randomly with a different of 5 of it, and boom, sold it to me for $20. This guy wanted like 150. And I was like, this is how collecting should be. This guy has no need for this Chris Kohler card. Chris Kohler has 1 card. He never made it. He just retired this year in the minor leagues. He's going on to greener pastures. That guy does not need that card. There's no reason. Sure, there's only 5 in the world, like this other guy contested. There's only 5 on the planet. But I don't care that much, guys, so you might as well grab it. Let me get it for $20. Otherwise, you're just going to sit on that for the rest of your life. And boom, lesson learned. If you're a nice guy, the guy originally had it for like 50. I told him, hey, all I can do is this. I get it if you can't do it because there's only so many. And he's like, oh, man, no problem. Gotcha. Boom, done.
Yeah.
And I was like, boom, at least, it restored my faith in the hobby again.
Yeah. I think a lot of times is, like I said, I got boxes of stuff, from when I used to break stuff and whatever. And the way I look at it is like, look, I have no attachment to these cards.
Exactly.
I could sit here, leave them in this box for 10 years and get a fraction of what I can get for anything now. Or look, I got a card that means nothing to me. It might sell for $7, but you know what? I'll list it for $3, and that's $3 I didn't have.
Yep.
I mean, that guy's happy, I'm happy, and it's leaving my place and making room for something else.
Exactly. And like you said, what this guy came back with is he's like, oh, well, I'm invested $120 into it. It's like, well, that's not my fault. And you can't.
It's a bad investment, buddy.
Yeah, you can't I'm not paying for the price of your 2 boxes that, and this is what you pulled. That doesn't mean I'm going to pay the price to get your investment of your 2 boxes back. Like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Did you learn how to do this from Gary V or what the hell? I just don't get it. Just be a good dude.
I mean, look at the stock market. You buy stock at a certain price and it goes down. You can't jack it up.
Right.
That's what it sells for, buddy. That's the number.
Mm-hmm. Like, sorry.
You win some, you lose some.
Exactly.
You cut your losses and take that money and live and learn.
I'm glad that at least as of now, I'm not the type of collector that has to have it. I can wait it out. Like, there's a couple of printing plates, and those are pretty dang rare. And as cool, I have one, as cool as it would be to have all 4. I can't pay $60 for a card like that. It's just, that's not in my wheelhouse. That's easy for some people, but it really isn't. Like, I can pay like 20 to 25. I keep offering this dude 20 to $25, and he just keeps, or girl, they just keep declining it. Yeah. But it's like, man, what is that card doing for you, man? Like, nothing. Just sell it to me.
I got mixed, as far as my PC with Ichiro stuff is like, I mean, I get the printing plates, but like you said, I mean, I don't think they're worth near the price that people are looking for those things.
For sure. I
think I've only got one, and the guy had it buying out for 20. I'm like, that's it. That's
I was gonna say, hell yeah.
Yeah, but, I mean, all the rest of them are like 60, 80, 100 and up. I'm like, no.
Easily, yeah. That's one of the things about collecting a good player is, unfortunately, the prices are a lot higher than collecting someone like Chris Kohler, whose most of his cards were only $1 to $5.
Right.
But
now, what team did he play for?
He was in Oakland A. So I collect autographs of dudes named Chris because that's my first name. So I love to see how they sign their name, and it's also a nice cheap side PC. Besides Chris Sale, I can't really think of any other super popular Chris. So again, most of them are $1 to $3 to $4. Yeah. And then of course I like the A's, so I came across Chris Kohler, who now my initials are CK. This is his initials, CK. I have a long name, Christopher Michael Kirowitz, so I sign my name Chicken Scratchy, CMK. So this guy, his name, we had the same initials. His autograph looks almost the same as mine. He plays for the A's, and it's kind of unique setup because he has one Major League Baseball card. He has a few minor leagues cards that showcase him pitching, but in his minor league, he has one baseball card. And I thought that was kind of cool. I was like, wow, these are a lot of things that are like aligned with me. Right. I can chase that rainbow. Little did I know, even though he has one baseball card, there's like 42 different versions of this dang card, man. It's like, holy cow. But it's fun. It's cheap. I can hunt it down. It's something on this, it's a great card. It's a great collection for me to be hunting down. And but I've kind of peaked at it now that since they're cheap, I was able to get a lot of them right away. So now I'm down to probably like the hardest, maybe 9 or 10 to get. Like, of course, the one of one I'll never see, the Superfractor, unless you got it sitting around in the boxes of 2014 Bowman that you got sitting around.
No, I only got one Superfractor. That's Oh, what's his name? Evan Gaddis.
Did you pull that?
Yeah.
Ooh, nice. That's cool. I've never even seen one in real life.
That's well, it's the only one I ever pulled, but I tell you it doesn't stand out as much as ones I've seen. I mean, if I angle it in the light just right and
Yes.
don't care about getting a good quality picture of what the player looks like, then yeah, you can say it really stands out. But I mean, even busting products, I don't buy any hobby boxes anymore. If I buy like 6 to 10 blasters a year, it's a lot.
For sure.
But again, bust or spending $20 on a blaster box and not getting anything is much easier to take than spending 150 or more on a box and not getting anything back. But
Easily.
but but yeah, even opening some product like the 2018 Topps Chrome update stuff from Target and stuff. I mean, I was being very careful because I mean, if I wasn't really paying attention, I could skip over that superfractor.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Like, yeah, when I saw the Otani one, that superfractor, they look darker to me
Hmm.
or something. So yeah, which in turn doesn't show you that
Yeah,
instant bling. It's that gold versus like a silver. I feel like pops a lot more or something.
yeah. I don't know who does that for them, and again, I'm sure they might bounce around with different companies that print for them and do the different designs, but it
Hmm.
didn't pop like the ones I'd seen in pictures and stuff like that.
And a one of one. It's interesting to me that they can print just one of those cards and it just doesn't like it doesn't even pop. Like I'm sorry, I'm thinking about the Otani. I remember
Yeah,
the story of the guy who pulled it, and I remember that horrible picture of him holding it in front of the camera raw, and he had it in his hands to where two corners, one corner was just gouged into his thumb, and the other was in like his ring finger, and he was like gripping the card. I was like, oh my god, dude! Like you just hit a golden ticket, and you are just destroying it right in front of our eyes.
like he's getting ready to throw a four-seam fastball or something.
Yeah, right. It's like, bro, I guess you don't want to let go of that bitch, but it's like, man. But it was like, again, this was my first year back into the hobby, my first big craze, and Otani was it, and I was excited, and here it was, the big one of one, and I was like, huh. I was like, it didn't bling like what I thought a $70,000 card or whatever the hell that thing sold for.
Like
And then
175 or something like that.
175,000. That guy, I'm sure he's happy about his investment. Whatever. Take some more advice from Gary V, you idiot. But I was looking at my Otani because I had ripped some, and I had just like the chrome version of it, and and it just like I don't know. Mine just looked better because I could see it. I don't know. It was weird, and it was just like, all right. So the difference is that stamp, I guess, the cool little stamp. But even the stamp to me should be cooler if it's one of one. It should be placed differently or something. It should be more noticeable. It's sometimes I don't even notice that one of ones because there's only. I'm talking way too much here, but like when a card is like 111 of 250, that's 7 digits, 111-250 that you can catch when you're
Right.
looking at a card versus one of one is only 3, and that's just little dashes. So sometimes I don't even
Yeah.
see them. So all this
Yeah.
is going on in my head, dude, and I was like, wow, I don't get why this is that big of a freaking deal. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, I think about it all the time. It's just like they need to, at least with Panini, they do like a fancier 101, like the stampings, a fancier one,
Yeah.
almost like geez, I don't even know what text it would be.
It's like a
Like,
calligraphy looking like, and then it
yeah,
spells the word of one
yeah,
OF1, and it does
yeah,
looks high end. It looks
yeah,
pretty.
classy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
classy. There you go. Not a stamp.
yeah.
Come on.
So it's just like, I mean, they need to do something where it stands out a little bit more. I don't know if they just do make a special border,
Yes.
have it
Yes.
completely different than any other one. that way, like, I mean, if you open a pack and you can kind of see a corner or edge of a card, you're like, oh shit,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
yeah. That's like when I was busting stuff, I bought a box of, wow, man, was it Bowman? I think Bowman Sterling or something, 2010, and in there were some of the first autographed Bryce Harper cards you can get
Mm-hmm.
of him in a Washington uniform, and it was like the 60th anniversary for Topps or whatever.
For
And I
sure.
remember like my wife was pregnant with our son, and like she was cooking dinner, and I was like busting open a couple boxes, and I saw like a red border. I'm like, oh man, red, red is can be some major stuff. And
Yes.
so like I flipped through it, and it was that Bryce Harper autograph, and I was confused because it was Topps, but it wasn't the Bowman and Topps the same thing, but it wasn't Bowman Sterling. And then it dawned on me, I remember reading an article that you could possibly pull that card. It's like numbered to 60 or something like that. It's on card
Yeah.
auto, and he wrote the happy 60th Topps, and signed his autograph, and it says like number 1 draft pick, and it's got his picture of him and stuff like that.
Awesome.
But yeah, I was like, I still got that card.
I was just gonna ask you if you still have that. That sounds like a really cool card.
Yeah, I decided to keep that one because it's different than just his rookie card.
Yes.
It's kind of this. I mean, you could get in 2009 Upper Deck Signature Stars. You can get autograph cards of him in like his USA gear.
Yep.
But that's the first card you can get from him autographed out of the packs with him in the uniform for the Washington Nationals. So
Nice, man.
and plus the whole 60th anniversary for Topps, and so it was kind of like just a real cool looking card to me. So I just decided to keep it.
Yeah, that's a keeper for sure. Do you send any of your cards in to get graded?
I've never done that before. I haven't participated in any groups that do it. I know quite a few. I need to, with the whole PSA with the set registries and stuff like that. I got my Ichiro one in there, and I think I'm ranked 3rd or something like that.
Nice.
But I'm missing quite a few, but almost every one of them, except for a couple, I have. But I just don't have them graded.
Yeah, I hear you.
So I need to send them in. I don't know if I need to just go ahead and submit them through a group, or if I buy the subscription thing for the year, you get like 15 free submissions, which I think would take care of what I need.
Nice. Yeah,
So,
I don't know the details on pricing and stuff.
Yeah, well, the problem is some of the a lot of times through the groups, they'll say it's like $8, $10, whatever, $11 per card to do it, but the value of the card has to be $99 or less.
Oh, okay.
So you start talking about some of the Ichiro ones, they're more than that. So
yeah, any card that's like worth grading would be expensive card.
Yeah, so it's like so now I get into the thing. Well, if I buy the subscription, and I think that went up, it's like maybe $200 or something like that now. That you get 15 free grades, but that's up to a value of $500.
Jeez.
So that's more in like that should cover it.
Right.
I know there's one that's like $800 or something like that, but I mean, but sometimes you can kind of work one card in maybe, and they might not make a big deal about it if you're only like a little off.
Right.
I know. You watch any of Elite Code 3 stuff?
No, I'm not familiar with that.
Oh man, Elite Code 3. He has a YouTube channel. He does 500 card submission orders all the time to PSA.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean he has his own eBay store. I don't know, 15,000 items on there or something.
Jeez, nice.
And that's his side job. I mean, he does stocks and stuff. His normal day job.
No doubt.
But he's big into cards and stuff like that. And he does those all the time. I love watching those videos. But yeah, he'll take like in an order and say, oh, I want to somehow this card is going to make it into this order. And but again, it makes me wonder. If you do that too often, they take. I'm sure they make tabs of that, and
right.
I'm sure that card might not get the grade it should, just because
right.
stick it to them.
That's one thing that why I have yet to grade any cards yet. Like I've bought plenty of graded cards, but it's weird. It's still kind of new to me and weird to me that just that human element. Yes. One of my first podcasts with the baseball community was with Jen, Baseball Card Babe, who's retired now, and her husband took over his channel, and I don't want to get into that because I think it's wrong. But she was.
Is she okay?
Yeah, I think she's just left YouTube. There was a lot of the scheduling and the demand of videos and the hobby and stuff was just a little bit too much, and focusing on life and stuff like that. So, but her husband, I think, still runs the channel, but it's still under her name and her picture, which drives me crazy beyond belief. But that's for another time. But she was talking to me about PSA submissions and shit. I forgot where I was going with that now. That happens to me every once in a while.
Talk about the human element and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, the human element of because she told me that she's been doing it for a few years now, that like when she sent in all of her judges in his rookie year, they all came back really harshly graded 9s, like a lot of 9s, when she's like, got the tool, the eye jewel, everything, like the jeweler eyepiece, like, these things should be 10s. And then now this year, judges come back 10s way easier, or sorry, last year, judges came back way easier as 10s, but Otani's were coming back as 9. And so it's like the hottest player, of course, I'm sure this year it's Vlad Guerrero. All his are coming back, 9s. It's hard to get a 10. And that's like, has to be part of this human element that's in there. And if that is true, then that puts a huge question mark on the validity of the entire system. And that's a huge statement, a bold statement by me, who is absolutely nobody. But it's also a truth. If that's like that, then this is the result of that the entire system has a big asterisk or a question mark next to it, if you ask me. And that's scary to me, that it's all reliant on a group of men and women and their eyeballs and whatever tools are afforded to them. Because as far as I know, there's no graduation ceremony. There's no class for grading cards yet. So this is just a job that people get that are from all walks of life, and now it's in their hands to grade your investments according to their eyeballs and tools and shit. And all of that sounds very strange to me, like that I'm going to pay a lot of money on a card that should be a 10, and you're going to come back and give it to me a 9, and I just have to be cool with that. That's odd to me. And I'm waiting for the day when, like, we're already hearing that SGC will not authenticate autographs anymore. And that's probably because the counterfeit game's there, man, and that's too hard, and nobody wants to be liable. And who knows, in the future, it only takes one stink up, one foul up at PSA publicly that there was some wrongdoing or some shitty guy that worked there that ruined everything, and all of the validity of all those graded cards is just done. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that go through my head. I could be totally wrong, and it's just like I don't know if that's like a pessimistic viewpoint. I think it's more of like a possibility or a realistic possibilities. So it's just like the grading cards is tough for me right now.
Right. Hey, Chris, can you give me 1 second, buddy?
Yeah, no problem.
Sorry, I'll be right back.
No problem.
Say it with me now, what's going down? Chris from the BrahjCast bringing the sound. Yeah, best in the game, Canseco should be his name. Straight from Little League to YouTube Hall of Fame. On top with the tops and the top hat. Can't stop, too high, you should know that. the champ in the world of podcast. Mail day, car breaks, bars for days. Collect everything, funny face, crazy names. Subscribe now, come get a taste. Hey, spreading the love and positivity. Sunday night is BFRG. Surprise, surprise, never know what it gon' be. Click fast, don't miss out. BrahjCast, say it with me now.
Well, I was contemplating whether to even talk about this subject since we're talking about the grading thing, but you probably haven't heard. You said, oh, it's going to take this one big public stink through PSA or, whoever.
Yes.
I'm a member of a couple of the forums, sports cards forums, and there's a couple people that have, they should be detectives, like on
Yes.
NYPD or something.
Yes.
They, and that's part of the beauty of serial number cards.
Yes.
Because you can track those cards.
You can track them.
So there has been like a slew of trimmed cards that have been graded.
Tell me what a trim card is. I've heard this term lately. What does that mean?
So if you got a card and maybe the edge or the corner is just a little dinged, right?
Mm-hmm.
I first saw this article it popped up several months ago. There was a guy, he worked for, I don't know what company he worked for. I want to say like one of the companies, online eBay companies or something like that, one of the big ones.
Yes.
And he put out, these guys dug up dirt like crazy. And this guy had put an ad out for, I want to say the University of California or UCLA, looking for an engineer that would help them design a paper cutter that could cut within 1/16 of an inch.
Jesus.
They found this. And they had the guy's name that was looking for the person and everything. 1/16 of an inch?
Yes.
So so here you go. Now you got grading companies that roughly grade companies kind of based on the same premise. A card is not always 2.5 by 3.5 perfect every time. Because they're cut differently from the factory or whatever.
Right.
So they give a little bit of leniency one way or the other, always. Just for different tolerances from the factory or whatever. So say if you have access or able to do that to a card, all of a sudden the card may have a little bit of edge wear or maybe a little bit of corner wear. You can cut off 16th inch from, say, the bottom right corner has a ding. You can cut 16th inch off from the right and the bottom. Ooh. Eliminate the corner wear.
Ooh.
And it still falls in the tolerances of the grading company.
Oh.
So, it's a big thing got posted on the forums a few months ago, and it just started again. They found more cards that have sold on eBay. Like one of the biggest ones is Bryce Harper 2012 Topps Heritage, the update. I think it was only available as a set, and you got one autograph rookie card in it.
Jeez.
Okay, there's 5. There's 5 graded to 10 through PSA. 4 of them are confirmed trimmed.
Jeez.
Everything fluctuates. The autograph on each card is a little bit different. It's placed a little bit different. It's a little bit streakier in certain areas than others. They put them side by side. And it shows it's sold as an 8, 8.5, whatever date for how much ever money. And all of a sudden that card's now a 10 and is selling for, thousands of dollars.
Oh. I've heard of people purchasing cards, cracking them, and cleaning them. Any card that has a good 8 or 9 surface and cleaning them and on top dollar cards, that is a big difference in, 1 point of grade. It's not on a Chris Kohler card that I collect, but on a Jordan rookie it is. So I didn't know what the trimming was. I assumed it was cutting, but I was like, nobody with scissors. I didn't know that was that hardcore, man. But man,
and you got to think too is, The most recent story was about this guy and blah blah blah. His dad was like from the Northwest, and I guess he ran an auction house, but super reputable guy. Been in the hobby for years, and of course he passed away. And his son started doing all this backdoor crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And it was him, and I guess there was a co-owner of the company that they only went by his first name, and so they did more digging and research. And this guy is one of the main guys in charge of PWCC.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard this story recently. The main guy of the PWCC involvement.
Yeah, it's not
Which
Brent
is an
Huggins,
auction, which is an auction house, correct?
Yes,
Right.
I mean, arguably, definitely online, probably one of the biggest.
Yeah.
On eBay, he's definitely one of the biggest in the hobby. I mean, if you want the creme de la creme, the hardest to find, the best condition stuff, I mean, that's where you go. I mean, anywhere from vintage to whatever. I mean, they're the ones that sold that Michael Jordan PMG green that sold for $350,000.
I loved watching that week-long auction, man. I love that card.
But you know what's crazy? That card came back as trimmed.
Really?
Yep.
Oh my God.
So now it's like, well, what the hell's going on? You know, it's just, you know, and of course, you know, PWCC, they're members on those forums. So the owner, well, actually, I guess it was the owner's wife. She wrote about that guy saying, you know, the guy that was being brought up about, you know, all the shady stuff he did with the company he worked for before, that was associated with this guy that was trimming these cards. And now he's working for PWCC, which, you know, they've already sold, you know, it was constant. These cards are coming back being, you know, filtered through PWCC.
Wow.
So it's like, you know, you know, and the problem is, I don't think there's an answer to the problem.
Right.
I mean, you have to allow tolerances,
right?
You know, but I mean, and on top of the trimming thing, it's got to be such a tight knit group of people. Otherwise, you know, loose lips sink ships. So these know each other. They've been doing it for a long time. You know, I mean, it's like, and the problem too is like, you know, people keep saying the forums, PWCC needs to call out names of people that are submitting these cards.
Right.
And they won't do it.
No.
But you know, I posted on the forum. It's like, you know, this is it's really a perfect storm for everybody, because it's just a finger pointing game. You know, all of a sudden, no names are be given out, but then, you know, they'll point the name at the auction house, and they point their fingers at the grading company. You know, nobody wants to take any responsibility for it.
No.
But it's going to have to happen, because, you know, I put on there, look, if I open a car dealership and start selling cars that were flood damaged and didn't, you know, say so,
mm-hmm.
you know, I'm gonna be facing legal ramifications.
I think,
you know,
so.
and the cards we're talking about, I mean, you're talking about there's a Mike Trout gold Bowman autograph card. I don't know, that sells for like $40,000-$50,000.
Right. Yeah, we're not talking about Jose Akendo rookies, that's for sure.
Yeah, I put them on. We're not talking about 89 Donruss Griffey's here. I mean, even though that card's gone up, but I mean, it's just serious money we're talking about.
Yeah, which is why they're doing it and taking it to these extreme levels.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's crazy. In that one of the forums, you know, talking about that Heritage Harper, bam, a guy posted the card, said, I bought this card in 2018, the end of 2018, you know, from them. And, you know, now he's seen it's trimmed. And he said he's already contacted them about getting reimbursed.
Gosh.
And he said if he doesn't, he'll be going forward with legal charges.
That sucks, man.
You know, and it's funny, I follow PWCC. I always liked and respected them because, I mean, just the volume and the quality of stuff they offer, you know, but people always, you know, the values the cards go for are always more than they've ever sold. It seems like they set records every time they sell a card.
Yeah.
People always like they're usually show bidders, which, I mean, it could be. I mean, I just can't think that it happens like that all the time without help from somewhere.
Right.
Right. And but I follow them, you know, and they usually do a post once or twice a week on Instagram, and they'll have like, you post like, 10 items or whatever, and you can scroll through, each one. And if they're really big, important cards, the guy that owns it, company Brent, will do like a little, like a voice recording talking about the card, why they think it is what it is, what they expect, and all this other stuff. A little background on the card, which is cool.
Right.
They had a 2001 Bowman Chrome X-Fractor of Ichiro graded 10. I think it's a pop 1 or 2. There's only 1 or 2 of them. And they tagged me in it. And I'm like, wow. But I'm like, I knew right away I wouldn't be able to afford that card.
Right.
But I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely following it. That card sold for $16,000.
Jeez.
But right away, I'm like, 16 grand. I mean, I don't know. But then you start thinking like, well, here we are. Is that card trimmed?
Right. Exactly. Now, even if the thought's in your head, that's not good for them.
No, I mean, as soon as I read all that, I mean, that card for the price it went for and everything, I was like, wow. And I don't think those are serial numbered either. So it's like, there's no way to trace that card.
Right.
So
Right.
like, man, 16 grand on hoping you buy a card that's not trimmed. Whoa, that's a whole different league.
It is. It's a league that I'm not familiar with. Yeah. That kind of money, I'd be shitting my pants every move that was made with that thing. But I'm slowly beginning to realize that 16 grand for some people is $16 for me. It's just, there's just different levels to this game. It's when I hear somebody paying 16 grand, I instantly envision someone of my stature or whatever, like me paying 16 grand, which would require a loan and all this other shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And paying it back for 12 years.
Yeah.
Some people just got it in their PayPal as I speak right now, like click, done.
I like that.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, buddy. Sorry.
I was just gonna say I just sold a big chunk of Jose autographs for $500, and I didn't think anybody would really bite at it, right away or anything. But boom, somebody did, and boom, somebody sent me $500, like over, within a couple of minutes, and I was like, geez. But I guess that's just how it is for some people. They got money to this is their business. All these things that I don't think about all the time. So there's a lot I have to learn about money and prices of things, and how I can't believe some people would actually pay money, hard-earned money for this stuff, but it is what it is.
Yeah, like that guy that bought the green Jordan there for $350,000. I mean,
God.
he oh my God, he's got no, I don't think he has a YouTube channel, but he's been interviewed a couple times by this one guy, and my God, it was the first video he's ever done since he purchased a card. So
was he a goon or was he cool?
Oh, dude, he's started some online companies and sold them.
Oh, okay.
Like the last one he sold for $2 billion.
Yeah, so again, 350 grand is $35 to me. It's nothing. If I won the lottery, I would own every Mike Trout rookie there was. You know what I'm saying? Man.
Yep. Yeah, but it was funny. He talked to him. He's like, "What did your wife think about you spending that?" And he's like, "She doesn't know.
She don't know."
That's another thing. You got so much money. Your wife doesn't know you spent $350,000.
Right? Jeez, that just slipped through.
But he also I got a box here of stuff I haven't looked at since I was in college, because he started an online company with a guy he met in college. And I think they sold that for a couple million or something like that. And it just snowballed with this guy. And but when he was in college, that's when LeBron was a rookie.
Oh,
so he was
boy.
he was a big LeBron. And he's like, I got a box here I haven't opened in 9 years or whatever it was. And they're like, and the guy was like, what? He's like, yeah, it's full of LeBron rookie cards. They're all graded.
God.
He's like, you kidding me? He goes, no, I was big into all that. And he still collects LeBron and stuff like that. And dude, he had 101 LeBron rookie cards in there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude, for us, it'd be like, just over the moon with these cards, and he's showing cards that sell for like $50,000, and just like, oh yeah, I forgot about this one. I haven't seen this one in forever.
Right.
And he was like, you've seriously just had that sitting in a box. And he's like, oh, I got this one. He's like, I didn't even know that card existed. He goes, yeah, I forgot about it.
Yeah, that's a different ball game, man. That's for sure.
Yep, you just gotta, and that's the hard thing too. Is like you think about things, and you hear about people getting scammed all the time. Especially through Instagram. But Instagram is full of like young kids too.
Right.
It's got to be hard to be a young kid, and you don't have like a full paying job and this
For
and that.
sure.
And these guys are posting this incredible stuff, and I think that just makes them do what they do. Unfortunately, try to rip people off to, because
keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah, the world's so much of instant gratification nowadays. What you can see is like boom, it's just
preach on.
It's just like, man, I thought about it. I've been lucky; I haven't really been scammed, but it's like, I'm selective on who I do stuff with on there.
Right.
Few anyways, but it's just like, man, I'm not giving those guys a free pass to do it, but I can see it. I can understand it. These, a lot of people don't have a lot of money to throw at the hobby, but, you need to respect and like what you do have.
Exactly.
Have it anymore.
I agree 100%. It's just like you were saying, yeah, when they see just people posting all this, only the cool shit, it makes them not want to, it makes them feel lesser about their, quote unquote, corny little collection of 3 cards that are worth something to them. You know what I'm saying? So they don't want to show it off for whatever reason. And then that just, it's not an environment that fosters and encourages growth and evolution within yourself and your own collection. And for myself, and I it's a perfect example. I ask people at card shows, what do you collect? And I say Jose Canseco. They laugh and smile or whatever. They're instantly they think I'm an idiot. Basically, that's like, why would you collect such a dumbass?
Yeah.
But it's easy because my collection's awesome, and it cost me. I'm gonna leave here with I'm gonna leave your table, adding and making myself happy, and my collection's gonna grow for $6. Right. And I'm gonna be happier than this guy that you're trying to wheel and deal with to buy your $150 LK line or whatever. Like there's just like younger kids gotta have that instilled, or they need to be in an environment that will help foster that kind of growth. Just being cool with what you had, like you just said, and being cool with watching other people. Yeah, you got that awesome hit, but I'm still cool as fuck getting my shit in. That's only $1. That's $5-10. Like, and if you don't, then you're collecting, I think, for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. There was somebody commented on something on one of my Instagram things, and if I'm not following the person, I'll go and check out and see what they have and see what they do. And I can't remember what card it was, man. It was like a Yelich, but it was like from 2016 or something. But it was cool, like a blue refractor to 150 or something like that. I like the picture and stuff, and I commented. I'm like, man, he's on fire, this and that. And the kid is like, I can't believe you commented on my page. I was like, why? He goes, you got a crazy collection. I'm like, man, I'm no better than you.
Right.
I mean, the minute you start thinking your collection makes the person that you are, you got some serious problems.
It's way deeper than your collection. Exactly. It's like a mental part of you. I mean, it was easy. It took, I grieved and mourned when I sent 40 plus autographs and like maybe another handful of some relics and stuff. I just packaged them up, and that's a big part of my collection, but it wasn't hard. I needed the money for a predicament I was in, and that was it. The equation balanced out. I give this, I get the money, done. And I still have kept some of my favorite pieces, I guess, that have meaning. My first one I got or whatever. And if I couldn't, and I've been watching a lot of this Hoarders show too, so I guess I'm kind of in that zone, and so I see it a lot. But it's like if I couldn't let go of this shit, then I got a problem,
Right.
And as I look around my office, there's a ton more stuff I could give away. There's a ton more stuff in here that I don't need as far as cards. It's part of the reasons I started the BrahjCast Flips You Remember game. You buy a lot of blasters or hobby boxes every once in a while, you're bound to get a shit ton of relics and autos of dudes you do not collect. When you're a player collector like us, if it doesn't say Jose Canseco, and at a certain point, I didn't care about any of these relics. I didn't care who they were. So it's like you get them all stacked and piled up, and you can give them away to your friends and care packages. And I was getting way more in than I was going out. So, I was like, shit, let's make a cool game show to give this stuff away. And I still have just plethora of stuff that I really don't need in this collection. And I need to thin it out and focus on just where my collection's going, what my plans are for in the future. And I kind of encourage everybody to do that. I'm not saying you got to sell shit like I did, but take a look back at your office right now that you're in, and everybody who's listening, or your sorting room, and really look around at the piles of things that are around, and do you really need them, or could you sell them and add nicer pieces to your collection? Could you give them away to kids to help foster a future for this hobby? Could you donate them to SIGs for Soldiers? There's all sorts of ways to get rid of your stuff in a positive way. And I just don't want people to start getting bogged down. At least that's the feeling I had when my piles started, man. I was like, man, I got all this product. And it was cool at first, but it's like, man, it's becoming too much for me. So, I just had to kind of fucking figure out what I was doing with my collection. And as I started to piece it out and figure out what my collection was and is, it's been a lot easier and a lot better for my mental game as far as this hobby.
Yeah. Yeah. You just, I think you just, really sit down and think about, what direction you want your collection to go in. And it's easy. It's easy to veer off.
Very easy.
But, just try to stay in that lane. But, like you said, you turn around, you look at this, you look at that. And, I sent out a slew of care packages end of the last year, just like, and why do I need this? Look, this guy collects this team, or, this guy. And I'm sending it, man. Just, somebody else, it will care for it, and it will fit their collection, and it's just in a better place there.
I agree 100%, man. And then I guess catch-22 is you send a bunch of shit out and you're like, sweet, but then that good deed prompts them all to send you shit back. So you're like, dang it.
Yeah.
But at least they're sending you stuff that fits your collection. You kind of recycled it out, since you gave them Yankees because they're in New York. They don't have, for me, it's like they send me all their Brewers because they don't collect the Brewers. They're Yankees fans. So it's
right.
It is awesome.
Yeah. It's just, it's kind of go back to the Instagram thing. It's like, I think when we collected as kids, I think that was just a really awesome period. We didn't, have full-time jobs, and, the packs were cheap, but you were so satisfied with just pulling just a base card of, one of your favorite players. But, back then, you probably had, a dozen or more of your favorite players, and you pulled one of those cards, you were thrilled. It's kind of like, you need to crawl before you walk type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But, in this industry nowadays, man, if you're not spending, you're getting that $350 Bowman jumbo box to try to pull a Wander out of there, like, what the hell are you doing?
God, man, $350 jumbo box.
Whew. Yeah, it's just like, you're saying, it's just sending a wrong message to especially the young collectors.
That's what it is, man. That's what it is. It's just, I don't want to put a window on this, but I have to believe that the money is with us. So as we age, the money does, and then there's just nothing once we're gone, it's like, what's the hobby? You know, I don't. It's weird. It's a question that I love getting everybody's thoughts and opinions on, because a lot of people don't agree with me. There's people out there on Twitter, and I'm not going to mention Ivan from Watch the Breaks, who just doesn't believe me, or he just doesn't subscribe to some of my notions about the future of the hobby being with the kids. He's more of an investment guy. He's a West Coast guy. And I get it, or I try to get it, you know, where he's coming from, how he was brought up. I'm from Wisconsin. He's from Cali. These are different worlds, even though we're on the same piece of land. So but I enjoy hearing his thoughts and opinions on that, and as I enjoy listening to everybody's, because it's nobody knows the exact answer, that's for sure, and everybody seems to have kind of a different outlook or an opinion on what the future is for the hobby.
Yeah, I just, I see it from both points of view, but I mean, just talking, I haven't been to a card show, and geez, I couldn't tell you the last time I've been to a card show in years.
Mm-hmm.
But talking to people that do attend those or set up at those is, all they see is a bunch of 40-year-old guys.
Yep, just it's us. It's dudes just like us or older, man. That's it.
Yeah.
And if there's kids, that's just they're with their dads, but it's just like I see a lot of dads buying expensive product for their kids, and it's
Right.
like I don't think that the child understands that jumbo box costs $350, man. Like it just, I don't know, man. That's not a way to grow the future.
No, I mean, however old that kid is, 10, 8, 9, whatever. I mean, how long is it going to be until he gets a full-time job and he can afford a box like that?
Exactly.
I mean, he still has to go through whatever schooling, maybe college, which I don't know why people would pay to go to college anymore. It's kind of ridiculous. But I mean, I went through it, but I mean, going back, I don't know if I would do it again.
I know, right? I'm still paying for mine.
Yeah, it's just like, damn. But it's just, I think just a simple time as we grew up in, we appreciated things more. If you could talk your parents into buy you a $1 pack of cards, man, you had an off day.
Woof. Telling me going back with 2 packs of cards? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Like my son, I'll take him, he's big into Pokemon, and man, we'll go to Target and they got these special pack things. It's like $19.99 and up.
Yep. 100%.
I'm like $20-$30. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm like, my parents, I mean, I wouldn't have got a damn thing when I was younger if it was like $20 or $30 a pop.
No, that would have been like asking for the whole box of cards then, because that was about $38.
Yeah, I mean, if you want once every 2 months or something like that.
Right.
But I mean, that's what made us appreciate it more, and just it was different times. It
was, and the packs you were buying were the same packs I was buying for 3-month chunks, 4-month chunks before Series 2 came out. But it wasn't like I just bought a pack of Inception, but you're already on Stadium or Allen and Ginter or this or that or this or that or this or that. No,
Rob pulled the gold refractor.
Yeah. This, when the name of your card takes 9 pre-names, 1-of-1 gold parallel, this, that, on-card sticker, blah, 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 blah. That's a lot, man. All of us, we just collected the same. It was the same cards, so we all just kind of knew everything about that stuff.
Yeah. Well, and you had your friends too. It's like, oh, I got the Don Mattingly. You got the Don Mattingly?
Right.
Like, oh shit, that's crazy. It's just like everybody knew what that card was, and
yes.
Yes. In the back, it's $12, $12,
and it's going up.
Yeah, I'm thinking about buying a car next week. This is worth $12.
Right.
Like,
oh man,
buying a skateboard or something. It's just different times.
Very much so, brother. I think that's really, in the long run, that's what interests me is the not knowing, not knowing what it is, not knowing the answer, and just what the hobby is. It's going to evolve into something. I'm just, I guess, interested really in seeing what it is. And
Yeah, I mean, if Topps does, I think Topps, I'm sure they're, of course, fortunate, they're happy in the position they're in, but if the rate they keep going, I think they're going to end up shooting themselves in the foot if they don't do something to deliver something to the younger fan base.
I agree. And Topps Bunt is not the answer.
No.
One product hidden within that has zero promotion or anything like that, and zero chance for a little kid to even get anything, and you only place them in places that pack searchers are there anyway. It's like Topps Bunt, I feel like, is only in like retail stores and stuff like that, and it's just that's where pack searchers go. So it's like kids won't even get a hit. They'll like buy packs and packs and packs of Topps Bunt and never even get a hit because some dude my age has already went through with a little scale and weighed all the cards like a dick and took all the good ones, man. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. There used to be a card shop like real close to me, and I went in there before, and then I'm trying to think of what year it was, maybe 14, 15. I went in there, and Bowman Chrome came out, and they had jumbo packs, and it was like $15 a pack. Jumbo, I think you were getting like 3 autographs a box or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, if I buy 3 packs, I have a decent chance of maybe pulling an auto. And I told him, I'm like, I want 3 packs of those. He goes, which ones do you want? I go, what? He goes, you can't touch the packs. I go, why can't I touch the packs? He's a pack searcher people. I'm like, I'm not pack searching, man. I want the back left, the second one to the bottom. I mean, dude. But yeah, I told him I wouldn't be back. I guess I can understand why they do it, but you're right there watching the people.
Right, like you're gonna let somebody just feel around the edges and all sorts of shit for like a minute and a half.
yeah. But I mean, on top of that, I mean, you're doing that. You're probably damaging whatever's in there.
Exactly.
For me, I mean, I wouldn't even mess with any of that stuff. It's a chance. It's an odds game. So, give me 3 packs and see what I get.
Yeah. And
I told him which ones I wanted, and he picked them out for me. And I'm like, I'm not going to be back here to buy these.
A few of the card shops I've been to in my history were run by some questionable fellas that made me think of, in that exact scenario, I buy those 3 packs of that open box that is guaranteed 3 autos. But when I leave and nobody's in there, he just fills those packs back up because he's already pulled the 3 autos out of that box. You know what I'm saying? And again, that's the negative part of me, or the scammer part, because I guess when I was younger, I was probably like a scammer kid. I don't know. It's just embedded in me. So I'm just like thinking like, man, I bet this dude does some shit like that.
You're walking out, he's like,
sucker, guaranteed there, auto in there because I already got him 3 weeks ago, and I just keep filling up crap packs because out of all the boxes, as soon as he hits his autos, you put those packs aside, and then you just fill up the open box. But that's why it's like if I'm buying product these days, it has to be sealed, especially if I'm going to Target or Walmart. To buy like even the hangers, you can just bust through those nowadays and kind of like look at them and shit. So it's just got to be like a sealed blaster or those sealed rack, those like value packs with the 3 in them. I'll buy those. But it's just unfortunate, man. And it happens with every hobby and in everywhere in this world. It just sucks that it's in this purely innocent baseball card collecting hobby that you've got to do that. You've got to protect yourself and buying a product, it sucks.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
As long as there's always a way for somebody to cheat the system, it's going to happen.
It is. Yeah. 100%. All right, my friend. Well, as I look down, it's 10:30 my time. What's that? 11:30 your time then?
Sure, yes, sir.
Woo! Been rocking for 2.5 hours. Not bad at all. We've covered everything from Ichiro to scammers in the hobby. Going back and forth, man. I had a good time. That's for sure. I hope you enjoyed your time.
I did, man. It's I've watched quite a few of these from you and some other YouTubers, and my first one I've ever been on. So I was really looking forward to it, man. And I had an awesome time, man. It's I don't have really friends that collect anymore. So, I mean, really the only people I talk about any of this stuff is anybody from YouTube or any kind of social media. So
I agree.
So it was great, man. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said earlier, a lot of, the first time I have guests on here, it's more of like me just asking a lot of questions, interviewing, because I really wanted to get to know you and the man behind the hands, man behind the collection.
Yeah, I know. And I need to start showing my face more.
As do I. I say that a lot, but as I was looking through like my catalog, because I went through and deleted a shit ton of videos, and that offered me an option to look at all my videos, and I was like, wow, it's been months since I've shown my face on camera, and I used to talk hella shit in my old podcast about people that didn't do that. Now here, like, not for any reasons, it's just like my mail days I've been putting to music, and then BFRG, the camera's never on me. The wrestling shit I'm doing right now, there's no camera on me at all, so I've got to get a little bit more personable in some of my videos as well. I've actively been noticing that I haven't been as personable in my videos.
Yeah, I was like, I was thinking before the interview, I'm like, man, I don't have too many videos with my face on it. I go, he does those awesome edits. I'm like, I gotta send him a headshot or something. I gotta see. You do awesome editing stuff, dude.
Thanks, I appreciate that, man. And I will ask you. I do that with a lot of people after we're done. I ask them to send me some shots that they don't mind me, obviously cutting the head out and putting them on some sort of neat little. Some sort of body. Obviously, you're going on an Ichiro body or something like that.
Oh, dude. It's funny. That crossed my mind. I'm like, dude, how crazy would that be?
It's probably going to happen. I'm pretty sure me and you are going to be Canseco and Ichiro right next to each other.
Nice.
Which that also reminds me, the editing, man, that I've got to, I wanted to put out a tutorial on the live stream. Since the new rules for all of us that are under 1,000, none of us can go live through YouTube anymore. There is other ways, and one ways that I do it's through Streamlabs. And I wanted to put up a video about it. It's going to be at least a half hour because there's a lot involved in doing some of this editing. But once you do it, it gets very easy. It gets very repetitive as far as bringing certain things on screen, off screen, and the buttons involved, and blah blah blah. So. Just a lot of things on my plate right now as far as podcasts and all this other stuff too. So I myself have got to get some more videos out too.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people, there's a couple of guys that used to go live, several times a week. And, I loved watching that. I need to apologize too for being behind on the BFRG there the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. What the heck?
Well, the problem is we allowed our kids to stay up an extra half hour longer now.
Oh yeah.
So next thing you know, I turn around, it's 8:30.
Yeah.
Oh, the damn BFRG, and I get on and listen to that, and I'm like, oh man, I'm on there for like the last 20 minutes. It seems like I'm like, I gotta be more positive about that.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, the time has changed. Where we went on now at 7 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock. To try to keep the East Coast people. It was getting really late for everybody on a Sunday night with school and or work and everything. So trying to find the right time, to allow everybody to get in and stuff like that. And
yeah, I understand that. You try to appease everybody. The masses.
It's hard. Yeah, it is hard. Going on like 28 weeks straight though, man. It's crazy. Can't believe that. 28 weeks ago.
I gotta say, man, that's a cool game you came up with, dude. I mean, there's nobody else doing anything like what you're doing on YouTube. It's amazing you don't have more viewers.
It is strange to me, but it's cool, man. I appreciate everybody that is in there. Every single person. Maybe it's a positive that it is a smaller. If there were already like 50, 60, 100 people watching a live view, it'd be hard for me to connect with everybody. The slower growth for me allows me to actually get to know more of my community and more of the viewers on a personal basis, which is awesome. Because just like you said, I'm the same way. I don't have none of my friends like in real life, my work friends and my friends, none of them really collect. cards. So, and I don't want to sit there and blab about my collection to someone who don't want to talk about it, you know?
Right.
So it's nice to be able to be in this community where everybody loves the same shit that I love. Everybody's my age.
Yep.
It's so awesome, man. We all have a lot in common. So it makes the conversations with everybody just so easy and just like almost like we've just been buddies already, you know, just having a lot of, you know, if you're a baseball card collector, odds are you're just like the same kind of type of personality and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
there I
absolutely.
go. I'm blabbing and blabbing about this community. Every time I start talking about the community, I just keep going on about how awesome it is and positive it is, you know.
It really is. It really is, man.
I've never been involved. I had no idea that I've never had anybody mail me things that just for the goodness of their heart, you know. Some of the messages I get are, man, really, really good messages. A lot of people, you know, I get a lot of private messages. They don't want to put heartfelt shit out there, you know, for everybody to see. But everybody who's listening, you know who you are. It's really cool. There's a lot of positivity out there. Very little negativity, which is what I love. I'm my social media feeds, my Twitter, Instagram, all of it's just hobby related, no politics, none of that other real life bullshit. It's such a great escape from some of the negative that's going on in the world.
Hell yeah, turn the news off and collect baseball cards.
No doubt, right? So with all that being said, is there anything you want to say to the millions before we go?
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody that watches my channel, checked out my stuff. You know, I posted a thing, you know, one of my videos is like, you know, basically you come to my channel, you know, it is what it is. It's Ichiro stuff, you know. I mean, every once in a while I'll post stuff outside my Ichiro PC. And I posted in one of the videos that, you know, I'm sorry that I'm sure it's monotonous, you know, and some people just don't want to look at Ichiro stuff over and over. And then one guy commented, he's like, well, that's not a bad thing because you are specialized in that one thing.
Yes.
And, you know, I guess I never really looked at it that way. And, you know, and people will ask me sometimes about their opinions on, you know, what card of Ichiro should I look for? Should I do this? Or, hey, what should I pay for this Ichiro card? So I was like, and it was shortly after he posted that, you know, I started getting these rash of things. And I thought that was really cool because, I mean, I could supply that information, you know, and, you know, one of my favorite things in the hobby is you always learn. I mean, I don't care how long you've been in it, what you think you know, you always learn something.
Yes. And,
you know, I've loved history. You know, I guess that's part of the thing with baseball cards, of course, you know, Ichiro being, you know, not a vintage player. So, but I mean, I love that aspect of it. I mean, I think when you stop learning, you know, it might be time to look for something else because I think that would lose a lot of the fun factor, and make it, I guess just, you know, more spice to it, you know, and give you a little something to go for when you're looking through things, you know, like somebody shows something like, what is that set? Is Ichiro in there? I've never seen that before, or insert set or whatever, you know? And I guess the last thing is like, I want to give a special shout out to Victor Negron. Cause I was on YouTube, watching for a good year and a half, you know, and, you know, I gravitated towards certain people, started following them, watching their channels, commenting. And Victor, I like Victor. Victor's well-spoken, easy to listen to.
Voice of an angel.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's kind of like for me, he's almost like a veteran. And I just, you know, I really respect him and things like that. And I would comment on his things. And then next thing he started talking back and forth with me back when you could use the Messenger in YouTube. And he was like, hey, do you have a channel? I'm like, no, I don't have a channel. He goes, why not? I'm like, I don't know. And, you know, and at that time I had Twitter, I had Instagram, you know, it's like, well, geez, why don't I have a YouTube, I guess, you know? And he was kind of like, do it, dude. He's like, oh, you'll be great. You know, I mean, just real, you know, words of encouragement, positive dude. And I always appreciate him for, you know, kind of putting that little drive into me to get my YouTube channel going.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. He was one of the first people that him, Ikumafa Egg, Jason Wento, a lot of those names come up in a lot of my videos. Even in the wrestling stuff I'm doing, they were the three I went to, right? The first three characters I made for this YouTube wrestling thing I got going on. Just these guys were pillars in my own growth. You know, I didn't know what the hell to expect in YouTube. As wild or uh, openly spoken, I'm not using the right words, as easily going as I seem, I was super nervous, and I'm always super nervous. I was nervous before all these podcasts, even though I've done so many. I get nervous as hell. I took 3 nervous shits before our podcast too, you know what I'm saying? But you know, so I didn't know what to expect, and these guys right away, nothing but encouragement. Commented on a lot of my videos, and then what really got to me is when they would comment on their own videos, taking time out of their, you know, of their time, and saying good things and positive things about what I'm doing. I'm over here listening to that for the first time anybody's ever given me any sort of love on YouTube, and I'm like getting misty-eyed shit over here, you know, the Brahj over here like, oh man, 50 to grind, you know, like it was just so fucking cool. So
Over there chopping onions.
I totally agree with everything you said about him. I couldn't wait to get him on the podcast too, and then it just further allowed me to get to know even more about him, you know, and now we're just talking more wrestling, just even more things that we have in common, you know, and just have made a lot of really good real friends, I think, on here. Real friends. If I like, you know, if I saw them in real life, it would just be like hanging out like real fucking friends. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So before I keep sitting here and blah, 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 and jerking Victor Negron's D anymore, you're the man, Vic. You know that. BFRG Hall of Famer. You've been listening to the BrahjCast. I'm here with my boy, icollectichiro. Check him out on YouTube. Just type in all one word, ICOLLECT Ichiro. icollectichiro. You will find his beautiful channel, his beautiful videos, his amazing collection. It's been about 2.5 hours. I really appreciate your time, my brother. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye to the millions, and you have yourself a good night, my friend.
Ooey, ooey, ooey.
Oh, shit. Eemy. Good shit, brother. All right, my man. You take care. I'll talk to you later.
You too, man.
All right, bye.